What's good, everybody? New York got game, live watch party, game 5. Knicks are one win away, folks, unbelievably, from the conference finals. Dexter Henry, Bryan Fonseca, and our guest representing ESPN New York Radio, my guy, Ty Butler. Ty, what's up, man?
Good, y'all. What's good? What's good? First time here. I'm excited. I'm excited. Listen, if they lose tonight, y'all can't say it's bad.
Oh, no. We've been keeping stats here.
Okay.
The folks who are winners and sit in the chair and provide wins. Nobody's come back yet. But if you're a loser in the chair,
man,
you know what I'm saying? It's not a good look for you.
All right, come on, Knicks. We need y'all to catch this tonight.
There's a lot of pressure because but if they win and you came through in a clinching situation, everybody's gonna look at you as a closer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mariano Rivera.
That's what I'm saying. That's how everybody's gonna look at you if they come through with this victory. So shout out to everybody joining us. Knicks with a chance to do it. What are the vibes for you heading into this game? You know,
I'm stunned that there are people, and look, this will blow up in my face. I think the Celtics could win this game. They just lost.
I mean,
a first-team All-NBA guy who's going to finish third in the MVP voting, a guy who scored 40-plus points at the Garden, and they're going to win tonight? I can't see it happening.
I mean, they were favored. I mean, they opened at -3 and it moved to -5. So every game they've been favored, and can't say it's mattered, but like people just think that they're going to have this bounce-back performance even without Tatum at home. Role players shoot well at home, and just the emotional spot maybe. But we'll see. They have to prove it.
I think the emotions maybe last for a bit, but I just think the Knicks, now that they don't Tatum, I think they're a superior team. I'm with you. I don't see them not winning tonight,
especially after what happened last series in the game 5. And
the Bridges shooting like this, bro.
Yo, if he's gonna keep doing this, like he's so comfortable with the isolation. Derek White, by the way, has not had a good defensive series for as good as he is defensively. Like Mikal just went right for him. He's like, I have the size. I'm going to get to my spot. No problem.
I think because of what happened in last series against the Pistons, where they laid an egg at the Garden in game 5, this is more, urgency.
Look at
they come out, look, a steal here. This is going to be a different team tonight.
And I think the Knicks, surprise Brunson missed that one. I think the Knicks know that this is, you don't want to play with your food here.
Yeah.
This is a major opportunity for them to close this out.
That's not the guy you want to leave open.
Yeah, and they leave him open a lot. The thing is, I don't expect Boston to just roll over either. Like I think, they're gonna do what they can to try to push this to 6. So I expect it to be at least like fiercely contested. That's not to say it won't be a blowout, because ultimately you have to make shots, you have to execute. All right, Kat. Like
Josh Hart at some point is gonna have to show like I'm not scared to shoot.
Drew on Kat, Kristaps on Josh.
Oh, they called him for a foul. That's a bad foul by Drew. That game 1 foul on Brunson. Or was that game 2 where Brunson hit the go-ahead free throws? Oh, that was game 2.
Game 2. That was game 2.
Yeah.
He's a savvy veteran.
Yeah, he didn't need to reach when he did.
2 is the one that stunned me. 2 is the one that changed the series for me. They won game 1. I was like, it happens. Yeah. They won game 2. I was like, oh, they might win this.
And here we are.
And then after game 4, it was like, all right, like I think we know where this may head. It's just a matter of when.
A lot of Knicks fans hate that he shoots that deep 3, but it's like an analytics thing.
I like it, man, because he needs to put pressure on other teams' bigs. He's got to do that. I like that.
I do wonder what his percentage is on like 27 feet out.
I like it, especially when he's trailing. He usually gets in rhythm for that.
Damn. That was a nice move.
I mean, you're getting paid $277 million. Jalen Brown, it would be nice to show up in this series at some point, right?
This feels like a 6 turnover night for Jalen Brown.
He's had a rough series.
All the gamblers take note.
I have the turnover over.
I just don't trust him by himself when he might try to do too much. Good pass.
That's what it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like when he's by himself and he's gonna try to do too much, I'm like, I don't know about that.
Listen, not too long ago. 11 months ago, what was the conversation in the finals? Who's the best player on the team? I thought it was ridiculous. I know he got the finals MVP.
And Tatum's the conference finals MVP, too.
Yeah, but Tatum, I thought, was still the better player. If you're going to live up to a lot of that praise people were giving you, come on now.
I thought that conversation was ridiculous, too. So I just want to say, go ahead, Bryan.
I mean, he's the more natural. Like that's what it is. It's like with Jalen Brown, he's clunkier. He's not as pure, I guess, because the shooting percentages just don't match up to Tatum. But I'll say this: like the gap to me is probably not as crazy as some people think. Tatum's clearly better, but I don't think he's like multiple tiers better.
No,
like
it's not multiple.
I can't say that based on, not that you're saying that. I don't think you're saying that, but I think a lot of people like. I do feel like Jalen Brown deserves some measure of respect for the Finals MVP, Conference Finals MVP.
Absolutely.
And I brought up Dex, like he probably should have got his ring last on ring night. I know why Tatum did, but like after getting those MVP awards, it's like, yo, you should probably get the respect of your own organization to get that last. But
Tatum's a Hall of Famer, y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing though. Like,
I mean, Brown might be
just because somebody had a better, he's on his way. He's going to make the Hall of Fame.
Tatum led them in points, rebounds, assists. Like he led them.
I mean, he's a top 5-6 player in the NBA. That's why him being out like sucks from a consumer standpoint, because it's like, that's another dude, him, Lillard, that are going to be gone next year.
Yeah, it's just
who knows what's going to happen with the others.
That's a late call. Oh, they called it offensive.
Yeah, he pushed off.
Yeah.
Porzingis just does not look anything close to right in this series.
No.
Yeah. And that's one of their superpowers, man. He unlocks like them being unbeatable. A little bit of a flop, but you can't do that.
Yeah, but I mean, you come to the neck, I'm a flop too. You know what I mean? Like,
he unlocks them being a super team that is like unbeatable.
I agree. My boy was talking to me about this the other day, and he was like, yeah, like if Porzingis is the key. And the Knicks were able to take advantage of that. Now, you don't make any apologies for that if you're the Knicks.
No, of course not.
You play who's out there. Just like tonight with no Tatum. That was wild by Brunson.
It was not a good
Brunson hasn't really been good in first quarters of this series, but
except for last game. He had 9. The last game was pretty good. And I had talked about it.
Yeah.
The Knicks, I feel like, are missing an opportunity here. Because the Celtics haven't, neither team's off to a good offensive start. But the Celtics, 2 threes, that's the difference here.
I thought Mikal was in that first play. And he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything since.
Take that shot, Josh. Just take the shot.
Would you be concerned if they blow this?
Take it. Yes.
Really?
Yes. I mean, they got the game at home, but
yeah, the only concern is, remember, OG was grabbing his hamstring last game. You just don't want to play extra games which puts you in position where you can get guys hurt, especially guys who have a propensity to get hurt, like OG, Cat. Like, you just don't want that stuff to happen.
So to your point, he's not the only one either, because like Cat's thumb, OG's hamstring. Look at Mikal. He's basically the only one in your starting five that doesn't have anything. Because Josh Hart, I feel like every game he just lands hard.
Yeah.
Brunson's ankle is going to be lingering for what feels like the rest of the playoffs. Cat's thumb, OG's hamstring. Like, these are all sensitive. Like, one thing happens wrong, and then you could be talking about a few weeks. Look at Steph.
Yeah.
He had like a little tweak, and
brutal.
That might have changed that series. Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Wow. You don't need to. Look, you want to get through these playoffs and play as least games you can. Nice response for the Knicks here after being down 8-4 with 3 straight buckets here.
And they were able to get through last year without Porzingis too, because they had other guys they were going against.
Well, Jalen was on a different level last year.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday. It's like some of their guys just aged like 3 years since the finals.
With guards, it happens fast.
With Horford, with Drew. Like, those two guys just look older than what we saw during the playoff run last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with that. Father time comes for all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it comes for everybody out there. So
they're dinged up now too. I mean, the Knicks beat them ultimately, but they haven't yet, because I know you're
superstitious.
I'm not superstitious. It's not. It's not superstition. It's just
he just wants it to happen.
You gotta just chill.
Because you like really like live and die with. Well, I mean, not in a way that
not crazy like
not
that.
Like crazy, but
I have seen enough sports. I've seen teams come back. Seen people play with their food.
Listen, if they still had Tatum,
I used to root for the Jets. I understand these things.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a team lose their down 3-1, lose their best player, and then come back to win the series?
It probably hasn't happened, but
it probably hasn't happened.
I do wonder.
It feels like it's due to happen.
Yeah, I wonder.
And if it would happen to one team,
I'm not gonna go say that. I'm not gonna put that bad juju out there.
And if one team would do it, but like I haven't. I
don't think it will be a Jalen Brunson led team. Just want to be clear. I have faith the Knicks will close the series because of who leads this team.
I was thinking about this on the way here. I was like, yo, the way we talk about him now is just so crazy. We talked about this last time, but like the way we talk about him now is just like, yo, he's probably one of the best second round picks ever already. Like ever.
Yeah.
Really think about it.
I don't think
like the way like this is such an important stretch of New York basketball because it hasn't happened. Like as somebody who grew up with Jerome James, my favorite name to bring up.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean?
Jerome
And Chris Duhon,
Eddie Curry.
You know, and like Jalen Brunson is legitimately gonna be for a generation of Knicks fans, like an influential, like I want my kid to practice and play the way he does. Also because he's small, but because like the way he plays
and the story arc.
Yeah,
where he, as you mentioned, second round pick coming off the bench for Dallas. Wasn't like when the Knicks signed him, there was like this huge sweepstakes. It wasn't like Giannis or KD. It was like Brunson, cool for the Knicks. Yeah. And then immediately
people thought he was overpaid.
I thought I was one of those guys.
You were one of those people?
I was one of those guys.
I was the number was like, I was like, yo, is he like is he gonna be this? You know what I mean?
Well, let me. Tyler, you've changed. I'm not here to bang on you in this way, but you've changed your mind on this. So I'm just curious. At the time, why did you believe he was overpaid?
Well, because we had never seen him do anything close to commensurate production to that contract.
Did you think? I thought at the time.
Yeah, he wasn't this yet.
I thought so. What I thought. This is what I thought at the time. I thought at the time what he got paid was what you would give at that time for hopefully somebody you think that could be a borderline all-star.
Again, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's the key word here. Hopefully.
But what I saw from him in the playoffs.
And that
before,
was
and that against
was one playoff run, and it really was 3 games. Where
but I looked at that and said he can be a starter. I definitely was like he could start in the league.
But does that description, hopefully borderline all-star, who could start
for $20 million,
legitimize that?
No, it was. So I just looked
max
it up.
Contract.
It
was 4 for 100, 4 102,
4 for 104. So
now the numbers
26 a year.
No, the numbers.
But even at that time, that wasn't crazy. That wasn't a crazy contract.
No, it just felt like a slightly above. To some more than slightly, but it felt like above market value.
It did.
Like I remember people saying, like, "What? You couldn't get him for like 4 for 90?"
Well, remember he wanted to sign that. What was
4 for 56?
4 for 56 with the
Dallas.
Mavs.
Well, he was, but
Mark Cuban.
That was then.
Found out,
and this is now.
But that's what I'm saying. When he would have signed for that contract, 4 for 56.
So you're saying that? You're saying that when it came to,
there was also the element of like Rick Brunson that people were like, "Oh, his dad's just bringing him over and getting him paid."
But so you're saying because
I think there's some revisionist history about that, but at the time it was.
I was not against it. I'm be honest. I didn't think. I thought it was
I think
fine
you're
pay.
in the minority.
I am probably in the
minority. I think a lot of other people, like even if they wanted him, I don't remember that many people wanting him to the degree that they love him now. But I remember people being like, "Yo, wait, what are the Knicks doing?"
For me, it was a bit of a gamble. I would lie if I didn't say that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was, and I'm not lying about this. Mikel's cooking. Couldn't get that. Yo, if this guy turns out to be, I said this at the time,
borderline all-star.
If I was like, he's Mike Conley,
yeah,
it's a good contract.
Yeah.
He is beyond Mike Conley. And that's no shade to Mike Conley, who I like.
He's their second best point guard ever today.
Nice finish, Josh Hart.
And honestly, like, is he in your Knicks top 10 yet?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, top 10. I mean, Jay Williams went crazy last week when he's like the greatest Knick ever. I mean, come on, stop it, Jay.
Yeah,
don't disrespect Clyde like that. Ooh,
they get a title this year, then.
Well, Porzingis, if he gets a title this year, he's in the top 5.
Yeah,
that's.
He might already be because you've got Ewan, you've got Walt, Clyde Frazier, you have Brunson turnaround. You have Willis Reed.
That's Knicks ball.
Willis Reed.
I think a
Bernard,
lot of
I mean, after the 84 run he had.
You could argue, I mean, Pearl wasn't there long enough, but he, in terms of talent, he was still on the downside of his career. I do think he's surpassing. Did you say Melo? You say Melo?
He's probably, yeah. I mean, Melo won 1 playoff series with the Knicks.
Oh, here we go. Well, let's go, Syracuse guy. We got to ask you the question.
What's that?
We've asked a couple of people up here, including we had John Jastrzemski, fellow Syracuse guy as well up here. Should Melo's number be retired?
With the Knicks?
Yeah, with the Knicks.
No.
Oh, you with the no.
Oh, that's a little surprising.
I'm indifferent on this. I can go either way. I don't think what you're saying is crazy, to be clear.
I think they're going to do it.
So here's the thing.
3 threes for
I
Derek
love
White.
Melo, and I also hated that we needed as a media in order to hype up Brunson and give him praise, like tear down Melo.
Yeah.
Like there was too much of that going on. But retiring a dude's number who won one playoff series in your uniform feels like a bit much.
You have a
but it also feels like a make do because it's like, yo, our management was really shitty when you were here.
That's my gripe. When people were doing the Brunson Melo thing, it's like, yo, imagine Melo had Leon Rose as his general manager.
I agree. I think that's a great point.
Yeah,
it's not Melo's fault.
The Andre Bargnani stuff, like, come on now.
That was sick.
No turnover for Jalen Brown.
Bargnani was brought.
Right.
People forget Bargnani was brought to the Knicks to be the number 2.
Yeah, they gave up first round picks for this.
They gave up first and second round picks. They were like, all right, J.R. Smith, you're gonna start now, for whatever reason, and they were still like those Knicks.
And then Melo told the story on his podcast at 7 p.m. in Brooklyn the other day about like him finding out J.R. and Shump got traded, and he felt like the Knicks were being petty and sending him to LeBron because he was competing with LeBron. Obviously.
I mean, considering this is we're talking about the Phil Jackson times.
Yeah,
that wouldn't surprise me. Phil Jackson got a little petty in him, man.
He got done dirty, man.
I think you're right. That doesn't get talked enough.
Yeah, I think
pass.
That was a great pass.
Awesome.
Great cut too, and he got landed on. See, this is why you can't play with your food.
Yeah,
you got to be careful.
Derek White's
he's
feeling
got
himself. He's got 4. Is that 4? His 4th? He said.
Jesus,
it might be 3.
No,
by the way,
4. Oh, is that 4? Okay.
Wanted to get to some people in the chat. Our guy Greg Film Stuff.
He's
he says
5 for 5.
He said dope shirt. I meant to tell you that when you walked in. You had how much Aaliyah have you listened to?
Oh, I listen to Aaliyah every week, baby.
Okay,
my favorite artist of all not my favorite artist of all time. One of my favorite women artists of all time. Shout out to my wife today. Came home with this shirt. She's like, yo, I saw this and I knew you wanted it.
Oh, so this is fresh. First time wearing it. Shout out to your wife. The reason I ask is you're a little younger than me, and sometimes I'm like, how much of Aaliyah have you been on? I like that you up on
Aaliyah.
Okay, I like that.
But Aaliyah was around for.
2000. What is 2002?
She passed.
2001.
2001.
Yeah.
She had a 6-7 year run.
Yeah, huge run. I actually had to. This is Quebec. Right before, literally about 3 weeks before she passed, she was signing her self-titled album at no longer exists Tower Records in the city. And
look at this.
A girl I used to talk to and was working. Her cousin worked at the Tower Records and got us in there to get us a signed copy.
Oh,
yeah. I gave it to my sister, so she has that now. But yeah, Greg says dope shirt.
Appreciate you, Greg. Appreciate you, bro.
Fabian, who's checking with us from Austria.
Oh, he's
back. What's up, Fabian?
Let's go, Fabian.
Fabian was rocking with us from Austria the other day. We appreciate him. Friend of the program, Sam Antona. Sam, I was just texting. A little birdie told me we need to talk about the game watching food this evening. I wonder who told you that. Listen,
I ate before I got
Sam, what I'll say is limited options, Sam. That's all I'm saying. Limited options. It was raining outside.
I was going to say.
I made some decisions. It is what it is. What are you going to do?
Wow. Didn't even look at the basket.
And he's going to miss.
Celtics basketball.
Wow.
I thought he was going to miss too. I ain't going to hold you.
Because I felt like you took a little too long.
Yeah. I would not want to do that. Like, just take the shot.
Uh-oh.
It's a good playoff foul.
He's bleeding.
Oh,
he's bleeding?
Oh, wow.
Oh, why is he
bleeding? It didn't even look like he got hit that hard.
Yo,
imagine you were Jalen Brown yelling to the ref and somebody's bleeding like from their nose.
What?
I'm not even sure it's from his nose, to be honest.
He thought he got hit in the. He might have. Well, Brunson.
But why is Josh Hart bleeding from his head?
Yo, that's a big.
Could we get a replay on this?
That's a ginormous laceration. Of course, yeah.
Yeah, he has to shoot free throws.
Oh my god, was that on this play? Oh, okay, that's why he's tight.
Look at that flop. Get up.
No, come on, bro.
Yeah,
look where he got hit, dog.
Wait, hold on. Elbow, yeah, left elbow before, right there. Damn, but that's dangerous because
is that being upgraded?
I don't think that's a flagrant. It's just like he just went up, but he cut him right away. They might give him a flagrant because of the impact, but that didn't look intentional at all. See, look.
No, I don't think it was intentional.
Yeah, he was just going up, and in the process of him going up, Hart was already there. Look, as somebody who watches a lot of combat sports,
UFC, UFC guy?
boxing.
Yeah, I don't think that was. Sam says
like-
I gave you so many recommendations. I'm disappointed. One of the recommendations you gave me, Sam, was close.
Look at the elbow again.
And I was limited on time.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a regular foul.
Yeah,
but he's bleeding, so
yeah, that's the thing. Like on the impact, I think it's a regular foul. It wasn't even like he was trying to hard foul him.
Josh Hart got a little blood.
He got hit like
Jalen
here,
Brown got hit
like
in the nuts.
inside.
They
that
offset
area.
You know what I'm saying?
penalties.
Offsetting penalties.
Offsetting penalties.
They offset.
That's tough.
We're okay.
That's a tough
So
spot.
Normani dropped that joint a couple years ago, Wild Side, with Cardi B on it, which was an Aaliyah sample. And I was listening to that song every day.
I like that you're a Aaliyah fan, man.
Love
like
Aaliyah.
He was great. Rest in peace, great Aaliyah.
So they gave him a bandage like over. See, one of the worst places to get cut in the face is like right above your eye, especially if it's under the brow. That sucks.
Yeah. It's funny. I just looked when it happened. I was like, "Oh, it's a hard playoff foul." I mean, which it is. It still is a hard playoff foul. It was nothing dirty.
He got blood on the jersey.
Still don't like that the Knicks are wearing white on the road.
I hate it. It's like one of my biggest.
Oh my God, we hate it too.
We hate it. We were talking about this. Like, yo, white at home, occasionally alternates, but like road teams should not wear white.
The Celtics and the Celtics are wearing black. What are we doing? Maybe they say I don't.
That's the problem. Is like if the Celtics want to wear black at home, then the Knicks kind of like if they wear blue.
Can they? They can't go back and review that. No.
They keep talking about it, so maybe they are. Maybe they're looking at everything. I don't know. They're trying to see if that was a natural motion.
Man, he got up so quickly.
Wait, you can go back and review everything about the play?
Legally? I mean, I think from a technical standpoint, you can. It doesn't always happen. See, they're trying like the announcers are talking about whether or not that's like no flagrant for Cornette.
Oh,
okay, that was it.
Okay, that took long enough. There's that jerk on the sidelines.
Yeah,
I won't even say his name.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it.
No, the guy who's just been, an asshole talking about the Knicks.
Oh, the hardcore Celtics
that runs that media company.
Oh,
damn,
man.
he got it right. He got the bandage right on the brow. I'm surprised they closed that up that quick.
That's talent, man. Yo, people were like,
you got to use Vaseline usually.
Yeah,
I didn't even see
like
if they
the
did
cut
that.
man. The cut men in boxing for women.
They use Vaseline.
They're tremendous at that stuff.
Vaseline. They have kits, Q-tips. Well, like not for the ears, like bigger,
They have that like iron looking thing.
Yeah.
They do. They rub on it. Yeah. It's crazy how quick they do that work.
Too. So Josh Hart, I mean, he's fine. That could reopen, but it looks like it's manageable for now. But if he
probably good that he actually wears a headband.
If he gets hit there, they reopen. Torrey Craig is in the game.
Oh, Torrey Craig.
Is this first minutes of series?
Of the series, yeah. Absolutely of the series.
Unless he played in garbage time game 3, it has to be. Because there hasn't been garbage time otherwise. I feel like that Band-Aid could be better placed, but it's in a tough spot.
The problem where it's a tough spot. It's like right here at the corner eye. That's really tough.
It's the sweat and shit. It's going to be mad uncomfortable for him. But
Sam Hauser minutes.
Oh, he's back. Yeah.
He's back.
Sam is back.
He was rule available today.
Yo, you can't be having Luke Cornette do this.
Once a Nick, always a Nick.
Stop it.
Luke Cornette.
We gotta stop with the once a Nick, always a Nick.
Yo,
sometimes there's people you don't want to be a Nick.
So a lot of former Knicks are hopping on this bandwagon. Al Harrington, I saw bigging the Knicks up today. He's like, yo,
I got no problem with Al Harrington. He's a Jersey guy too.
But I'm saying the Knicks are now coming out the woodworks. Every single
guy
put on this jersey.
Is there a Knick?
Why does no other team have that also?
But it's
like that's interesting. Like they don't
because they don't have a cool arena to be at unless you're a Laker.
It's either that or like I feel like I don't see you see it with the Celtics.
Are they going to hack him, Mitch?
Yeah.
You see?
Okay, Mitch.
Free throw.
That was wet.
You see it with the Celtics too. Like when they're doing well, like you see a bunch of their former players too.
Yeah, like Paul Pierce.
But you don't get that. I don't feel like you get that many of them.
But let me ask y'all this: is there a Knick if he shows up at a game and is among these former Knicks where you're like, All right, yo, this is too far. Once a Knick, always a Knick, but you went too far.
Oh,
Back to back for
two
Mitch.
free
2
throws.
free throws in a row, and one didn't even touch the rim.
No disrespect, but probably Tim Thomas.
Tim Thomas is at every.
He's at the
No,
guard.
to be fair to Tim Thomas, I've seen him at regular season games. I've talked to him at regular season games.
That wasn't the question though. You asked like
it's too much.
But it can't be too much because he's always there.
Tim Thomas once had
so that's a different question.
Game winner.
So that's a different question then, because you're what's happening here?
Peyton Pritchard shaking people.
He got wiggle, man. Like
he got bricks.
He missed both of those. No, but with Tim Thomas, you're not asking who's like good enough to be there. You're asking like who's supportive. The supportive thing is another, like, I don't know how to answer that.
I guess I'm asking like if this person's there.
Like Tim Thomas wasn't like a great Knick.
No, but if the person's there, no, I'm giving him a pass because he shows up to a lot of games.
Yeah,
so I'm giving
no, that's a different conversation. Support, all good. That's
I think we got to qualify it with like you weren't there, and now all of a sudden the Knicks are popping.
Now you're here.
Show up.
So that's
you're also not that good of a Knick.
Yeah. So Tim Thomas has been there.
Like if we're doing the Jared Jeffries jumbo,
too far.
Thing,
too far.
Now it's like
too far. No shades of Jared Jeffries. You put if Jared
Allen
Jeffries
is always there.
He works for the
team.
team.
Works for the team.
Yeah.
Was Marbury there before now?
Marbury was there last year in the playoffs. These last couple of playoffs runs, he's been there heavy. Plus, he's also a New York City.
I saw him at Knicks Heat.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's also a New York City basketball legend.
Yeah.
He gets
Tim Thomas's jersey, Al Harrington's jersey.
But this was the first.
Al Harrington low key was a good Knick, also just for a short.
That's what I'm saying.
Balling on a bad team. This is the first I had seen it. The reason why I brought him up wasn't because I'm saying he shouldn't be allowed to do it. It's just that had been the first time I saw Al Harrington join the party.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't get invited until now. Also, who knows? What if Chris Duhon shows up? How you feeling about that?
That's too far. You went too far.
Well, he's got 22 assists in a game, so I mean,
which is the all-time Knick record.
he's one of the best stopgap point guards you've ever had.
Here's what you can't be. This is what I'll put it like this: you can't be thought of with an error that all you think of is losing.
What if it's not their fault?
Sometimes
Al
it's
Harrington's part of that era,
but at least at least him and Tim Thomas.
Al Horford did what he could. I mean, Al Harrington.
At least they went to the playoffs. I know it wasn't a good playoff series you want to think about against the Nets, but at least they was in the playoffs.
What if Tony Douglas shows up?
Nah, can't do that.
Well, Tony Douglas was in the playoffs.
Tony
too.
Douglas still owes me an autograph from when I was 14 years old.
Tony Douglas made the playoffs with the Knicks.
When that year?
That was the
04?
big. No. This was when they were. It might have been Melo's first year when they went up against the.
Oh
big
yeah, he
three
was
in
still on the
Miami.
team.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. He was still on the team.
This is
you're
when
right
people still thought he was going to be point guard of the future.
Yeah.
I believe that.
So did I. But I was a teenager. I don't know what your excuse is.
I was desperate. Desperation.
To be fair, and he's one of the greatest rookies in NBA 2K history.
Oh my
in NBA 2K9, he did not miss shit. Oh my goodness.
Yo,
Tony Douglas?
If the fact that we're talking about Tony Douglas.
Yeah. And when's the last time someone talked about Tony Douglas and it wasn't his family?
That's what I'm saying.
He's been overseas for a minute. I don't know if he still is, but he's had a good career considering he went overseas. He was in the NBA for a while. I'm trying to see what this line is. If Antonio McDyess shows up.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've gone way too far.
Yeah. Sweeney.
No.
Michael Sweeney?
Sweeney.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Malik Rose.
No.
He's an analyst now, right?
Yeah. For the Spurs, right?
For Spurs.
Yeah.
He used to be for the Sixers, I think.
Yeah, I still think he's back with the Spurs now.
And he had a stint at MSG, did he not?
Yeah, he did a couple games.
He did, yeah. Maurice Taylor.
Okay,
Yo, how about this?
That wasn't Tony Douglas.
No, I got one. Late season acquisition deadline deal. Tracy McGrady.
See, you know why that's the problem? I could tell you. I could tell you because he's more known for like, you know,
Rockets and
Magic. That's it.
Probably some Raptors.
And if he showed up to a Raptors,
he's not showing up and nobody's thinking of his name. If I see him there, I'm just like, oh, you just here for the vibes. Like
he's sitting courtside. We see the jumbotron. We're going through the guys. We're going through Larry Johnson.
Tracy McGrady's big enough.
Tracy
McGrady's big enough to get on the jumbotron.
Right. If he's not invited though.
But you can't be on the jumbotron where they're talking about once a Knick, always a Knick.
Okay.
I don't want to see that.
But if David Lee invites Tracy McGrady, then you gotta like you kind of have to let him
single
rock,
shot.
No?
Keep it tight. You don't show Tracy McGrady.
You can't not show Tracy McGrady.
You don't show Tracy
He's a
McGrady.
Hall of Famer.
You show him separately. You don't put him in the once a Knick, always a Knick category.
He didn't get into the Hall of Fame because of his.
No. You just put on the thing. You just put NBA Hall of Famer.
Is he taking the? You know how you do the post game on-court photo with former Knicks. Is he in that picture?
He is not in that picture. He should not be in the picture. We once a Knick, always a Knick. We can't take it too far, is what I'm saying.
No.
There has to be a standard. You have your standard for retired jerseys, which I'm with you.
I say that as a Melo supporter. I love Melo, and I hate that people get on him. But one playoff series win, man.
I have no problem with your standard.
I have one more name before we move off of it.
Oh my God.
Former GM Landry Fields.
Oh my goodness.
You can't be serious. Let me tell you
the
who
now fired Landry Fields.
Let me tell you
he was in the Bargnani trade, right?
No,
he
wasn't.
Did he just leave him for agency or was he traded?
No, was he?
He was traded, but I don't feel like it was.
He might have been in the Bargnani trade.
No, because he was gone by the time the 54-win team happened, and Bargnani was after that.
Yeah,
Bargnani was supposed to be the next step, and it didn't happen.
That's good for us. Miles
Deuce.
McBride.
Deuce. I got that.
The over half a three
For some financial reasons.
It was heavily juiced, but
his over-under was 5.5 points.
I think it's different. Like this year, I was at a Knick game, and they showed Steve Novak in the once a Knick, always a Knick.
Well, he had that great year.
That's what I'm saying. And so Steve Novak has two great years, to be honest.
And he did the
discount double check.
Yeah,
Steve Novak.
He's a call hero for Knick fans who look like Bubba Sparks.
Steve Novak's also an analyst, right?
I don't know what he's doing right now.
Yeah,
he's an analyst.
He's an analyst. Oh man, I heard him on League Pass too. I don't remember the market. It could have been Milwaukee actually.
McHale's missing some easy shots.
Mitchell Robinson is a problem.
I get it. Overall, this quarter
2 for 2 so far though.
This quarter has not been clean for either team. Surprisingly, like it's gotten to where the Celtics almost have 30. Because I thought this was going to be like a really sluggish quarter, but they just started making shots.
So I'll give Kevin Wilds. He does a show on FS1.
Yeah,
I'll give him credit for this.
First things first.
Yeah, first things first.
Yeah.
So not that obviously the Celtics aren't better without Tatum, but his point was you could
3 for 3.
You might see more ball movement without Tatum,
maybe
because the ball sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Jason goes a lot of ISO. They don't have the luxury of doing that. So they got to kick it around and hopefully hit threes.
What was happening in game 4 was they were relying on him too much because the Knicks had a lot of ball movement in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, especially like McHale and Brunson.
Oh man,
guys, this is going to be the Mitch free throw game. You get all 4 of them.
Don't lose it now. Oh, look at
Cookies.
This. Oh, wow.
That's a good block. That's a great block.
Jalen Brown turnover.
Oh,
I told you.
Where we at?
What's he doing there?
Yeah,
is that turnover on him or Pritchard?
It better be on him.
Right?
That pass was on him. Yeah, because last game in the fourth quarter, the Knicks were moving around the offense. They had a good balanced offense, and they weren't doing anything like too wrong or whatever the case may be. It was on the other side. On the other side, it was a Tatum save us offense.
So we have a chance to have our first end of first quarter Knick lead in the series.
That's crazy.
Yeah. OG Anunoby step back threes are always gonna make me nervous.
How many turnovers does Jalen Brown have?
I think that's the first one.
First one, yeah.
First of 6.
Well, we're on pace to get to 4, which is what we need.
Oh, that's a good block.
Ooh,
wow.
I think there's a case for a jump ball, but
you don't challenge
the hands going down
doesn't help.
That's the thing.
KP's been a disaster in this series.
Yeah,
he just don't have his energy. Look how usually when you see guys in the first quarter bending on their knees, holding his knees.
A lot this series.
Fatigue. If anybody's had a viral infection anytime,
man, 20% from
he's not right.
If you would have told me he would have done that before the series started, I might have been like, "Yo, the Knicks are gonna win this series."
He doesn't have his energy. He doesn't have his legs, man. And they had no choice but to start him today.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Mitch has the highest plus minus net rating out of anybody in the series, which is crazy.
That's with a bunch of missed free throws. He's a plus 4.
His activity on the glass, man.
He has 6 points and 5 rebounds in 3 minutes.
Stupid. And it's hit all his free throws.
This is why free throws are important. He has 4 offensive rebounds right now.
Yep.
Okay, some comments in the chat. Greg says Jerome James.
You brought up Jerome James. That's funny.
He's the guy.
Oh, I got one.
He's the guy I
associate. Oh my God, this is gonna be a running thing. Let me hear. Who's this?
Ben Baker. Let's get it.
Okay, can I explain why you absolutely cannot bring him in the building? The reason you cannot bring him in the building, he was involved in the Patrick Ewing trade. He is a reminder of a terrible trade that really started the downturn for the organization. You absolutely cannot have Vin Baker in the building. He wants to go in the building for the Bucks? Cool. Can't be coming in as a Knick. I understand the saying, once a Knick, always a Knick. I understand the sentiment behind it.
People.
But like, yo, it's not for everybody.
Not
Sorry.
for everybody.
Sorry, it's not for everybody. We don't have to honor everybody. KP missed that free throw.
He missed 2 in the fourth
too.
quarter of game 4. He's just shot.
Knicks will at least, barring a turnover and score, tie or the lead for the first time in the series at the end of the first quarter.
They're going to trap him.
The pass.
Yeah.
That's great patience.
That was the look. That's why he brought him all the way to the corner. He knew somebody was going to cut.
Knicks got the lead, like you said, Ty.
First time all series at the end of the first quarter. I don't know if that's a good thing, though, because their recipe is like, let's get down 20 and then we start playing.
I think it's good that they survived.
Kidding.
They survived the weather, the storm here. It's good. It's Greg said, I don't think Steve Francis, which is a throwback there, should be able to enter Manhattan.
Yo, Steve Francis.
That's another terrible trade.
Yo, Steve Francis had a game winner. It was in Washington.
Washington or Orlando?
I think it was Washington. He starts jumping on the scorer's table.
I think it was Washington.
They tried to pair him and Marbury together. Thought that would work.
Yeah. Wow.
And I could tell you, I knew that wasn't going to work.
He was a name too.
God, that early 2000s, the early to mid 2000s. If you're a Knicks fan, Jesus, that was bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, you put hope into a lot. Look, I will tell people this: when the Marbury trade went down, and anybody who knows me, growing up, love Stephon Marbury, Brooklyn guy.
Oh, a lot of people love that.
Love Marbury.
Yeah, so I love Marbury.
And they had Penny too, which at the time it was like, oh, he could be a role player.
I was a big Marbury fan all through his career. So when Marbury came to the Knicks, yo, I was hyped.
A lot of people were.
Oh,
he was on, quite frankly, saying he's the best point guard in the NBA.
Yeah,
you know,
but he had some moments, man. With the Knicks.
I mean, but the thing is, like, I'll tell you what. If you really wanted to learn the salary cap, the Knicks were a phenomenal team to use in NBA Live back in the day and 2K. If you wanted to turn a franchise around as a GM.
Oh, I was about to say, if you want to learn the salary cap, you want to learn to look at a team whose salary cap books were messed up.
That's the thing. You want to really test yourself in the game? Try to turn around that franchise.
Donnie Walsh, remember emptying the cap because he was going to get Bron, Wade, and Bosh.
Knicks fans were legitimately heated because they really thought LeBron, like, he has to come to New York or whatever. But the Knicks, as has generally happened up until this point, and generally happened in those eras, they didn't put themselves in a position to get those guys.
Yeah, they weren't good enough. The infrastructure wasn't there.
Like, it's like you got to build something first. And now that you have that, like, there will be role players that want to go there for the right price.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, they're not going to have any cap space going forward, just because. Once that, so you're giving Bridges that extension? Was it $156 million?
I don't know if I'm giving 150. I don't know if I'm giving. Is that
156 for 4?
Yeah,
that's what the max is. Listen, if I'm him, that's what I'm asking for.
Yeah,
I mean, here's the thing.
I'm like, what did Jalen Brunson take less for?
If you asked me this at the end of the regular season, I would have said no. Based on what he's done in the playoffs,
I think you got to wait though. Like, let's see how
he's next.
Like, what if they actually, do the thing that I don't want to say, and
they get to the finals.
Yeah,
I like that you were able to say it. Just smile.
Because you're. I
don't care if y'all say it. You're not getting me to say it. Right. You can say whatever the hell you want to say.
If they win the title and he's an integral part.
Yeah, I mean, you don't change a team that either wins the title or gets to the finals.
Right.
You just leave them as is.
Yeah, if you lose in the finals, you make slight tweaks.
Yeah, but no major changes to any of your top 6 guys.
So I agree. Bryan knows I'm a big believer in continuity matters more than people value it. People always want to just tweak things. I think this Knicks team, I've been saying this all year long. I've probably been on an island for this for a lot, but the Knicks needed time. They had changed 3 pieces in the starting lineup. Mikal Bridges was adjusting to a new team. He looks better. Just look how he's playing the game. He looks more confident on offense, on defense. This is why you got to let things develop. Would I give him an extension? Yes. Would I wait, as Bryan said, a little bit? I would do that as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do it now.
But why would he, knowing he's got a lot of leverage here. You just gave up
does.
5 first-round picks for him.
He does.
As you said,
he's got you over a barrel, bro.
He's like helped you during this playoff run.
Yeah, he's
like, why would he come off of that max extension request?
If I'm his agent, you got to ask for the max. I think.
And fans will be like, oh, take less so they could build a team, yada, yada. But at that point, once you have those 5 committed extensions, there ain't going to be a lot you could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
you got OG at 212. You got, Cat. He's making all the money he made from Minnesota.
That contract.
Brunson took a haircut.
Yeah.
But, he still makes a lot. Mitch is on that extension you gave him a couple of years ago. Josh Hart, you extended him 2 years ago. So you got a lot packed into those 6 guys.
But if this is a team that you get to that looked like a Mitch free throw. If this is a team that you get to the conference finals or finals with, then it's like, yo, this is our core, and we could maybe we get 2 more cracks at this, or 1 more crack where we get deep. And God dare I say they win it, because I'm not gonna say that, even though y'all trying to get me to say that.
I think you should say it.
Nah, man, nah. But look, I think this Knicks core is good. They're just gonna have to tweak things on the margins. So yes, would I bring back Mikal Bridges? Yeah. The thing, you're right. He's got the leverage, Ty. You guys give 5 first-round picks for me, and I would, if I'm his agent, I'm like, playoffs. Mm-hmm. That's what I'd say. they'd be like, well, we don't want to give you the max. I'd be like, playoffs.
Yeah.
Look at what I've done in the playoffs. Look at the big plays I've made in the playoffs. Like, it's hard to argue right now, today, that you wouldn't give him the max.
It's everyone's favorite time. It's campaign time, baby. Look, he's dying to shoot. Look at him. I think
this has to be Bridges and Cat. Like
the Pacers series, we're anticipating a Pacers series. The Pacers series would tell us a lot.
It's wet. We got a Jalen Brunson moves.
He said a lot.
Let's just focus on the game. Okay, you can do that.
Al Horford.
We got 3 hours to fill. You think we're not going to talk about, contracts?
Yeah, we're not doing play-by-play.
It's also the second quarter.
Like sheesh.
Good defense.
And 1.
I was surprised they called that. Let's see.
He got him. Looks like he got him a little bit going by.
See how much contact
he's not even complaining on that.
Yeah, I think with Mikal, he just has to keep playing the way he is. That he'll get his money. Look, Porzingis is just. We're gonna find out like he was taking like 2-pound shits every night or something. Watch, it's gonna be ridiculous. We didn't even get a replay of the foul.
Yeah,
no, that's awesome.
All right, back comes Drew Holiday.
Deuce has played so much better in this series too, shooting with confidence.
He'll be big in the next series.
They're gonna need him, man.
That team is
deep.
Yep,
that team is deep.
I wonder if they get to the next series because y'all put them there already.
They're good. All right.
I wonder how Tibbs is going to play that in terms of with the depth that Indiana likes to play with. I wonder how he's going to adjust to that.
That's a bad shot.
Great rebound by Mitch.
We got time to preview it, but I have a lot of thoughts.
We might be talking about that after this game is over.
We might. The way this is looking, we honestly might. I expected. I mean, I still think Boston, like, they'll have a run. It's a game of runs. That was a nice move.
Mikal.
Out of bounds. Good deflection.
It's the only path to winning this game is shooting like 93s.
Yeah.
And they know that.
I thought you were going to say 90% from 3.
That's the only path. So if you're someone who doesn't like what the NBA has become with all the 3-point shooting, this is not the game for you because that's the only way Boston can win this.
7 of 18 from 3, which is 39%. That's including that one. And they've only shot 10 twos. So 18 threes and 10 twos. So that's the shot distribution they want. But, wow. You got blocked by Derek White?
Because
he's got a low release.
I know he's the best shot blocking guard in the NBA.
He shoots from like here. And that's what
he's the best shot blocking guard in the NBA.
And that's a frustration foul. But that's a dumb foul. How many fouls does Cat have now?
Yeah, he held them. He held them. And
how many fouls is that?
2, I believe.
Yeah.
3
fouls.
Awesome.
And this
that's
is
the stuff where the immaturity just reeks. It's like, come on, man.
We need you on the floor in this game.
That next closeout game.
He's the dude where next series is going to be frustrating for him because that team could piss him off if he's not under control.
He had 2 good games against him this year. One really good game in Indiana. So
Knicks fans say the regular season doesn't matter.
Huh?
Knicks fans say the regular season
doesn't matter. That's true. So?
What do I keep saying about that? People who say the regular season doesn't matter, it's the dumbest statement ever.
Doesn't matter.
What do you say?
That you're saying that you're saying people who says regular season doesn't matter.
Yeah, stupid statement.
Yeah.
Like, it's a stupid statement.
I do think, like, it is different to a degree because it's like who's playing, because now that's another thing you got to look out for.
It is a different brand of basketball, but it matters.
Yeah.
It matters to build good habits.
Wow.
Oh, deuce!
What a shot!
Woo. It matters to build good habits so that you can get to a point where you can play better basketball. To say that it doesn't matter at all to me is just.
No, because people are going to look at like Cleveland, for example, and be like, "Oh, but what happened with them?" And it's like, well, from a basketball standpoint,
4 of their guys were hurt.
From a basketball standpoint, just on the court, they went away from what worked. Mm-hmm. Like, they started switching too much, and Indiana killed them, which is something interesting to watch. If Tibbs going to switch against them,
but
Indiana
even
killed
Donovan.
them. And then before that, Darius Garland enters. He's hurt. He's never he shouldn't have been out there. And looking at how he played, he probably just shouldn't have been out there. Because the worst thing to have other than an injured guard is an injured small guard. And that matters because he's their initiator in a lot of ways. And then on top of that, you have like the second game where Mobley, Garland, and Hunter are all out. That's 3 of your top 5 players. And once they blow that game, that was it.
Yeah, it was
like that was it.
Yeah,
I still think Cleveland's like a good team because of the regular season.
It's so funny. Like, we praised Ty Jerome all throughout the season.
And he was terrible in that series.
But then they got to a point in the series, like, all right, too much Ty Jerome. Like, you're on my screen a lot.
This is why some dudes should be playing 20 minutes a game.
Yeah, but that's TJ McConnell. Like, that's the perfect example of a guy that's in his spurts, really good. That's why I don't like the per 48 numbers or per 36, where you try to use that for bench players. It doesn't work.
For some guys,
for some guys, the numbers work.
If you
bench guys, it doesn't.
I like that.
Like Pritchard in the regular season, you see him, and if he has a bigger if one of the Jays are out, not because of an Achilles, but if one of the Jays are out, he'll step up and have a big game. And he's had honestly some big playoff games too, But other guys like Ty Jerome, it's like. See, this is why the contract that you get is only good. You cap yourself now.
Yeah.
Like, people who are going to give you Orlando, maybe. I don't know who's going to give him paid.
And
he still might.
Also, another thing they got away from, and it was not by design, they were forced into it, was one of the things we gave Donovan Mitchell a lot of credit for was he sacrificed a lot of his numbers this year for the benefit of the team, getting guys involved. Now, he went off in the playoffs. He had to, but other guys just not being involved.
Not having Darius Garland, like you said, their lead initiator.
That was the thing.
This year it hurt them. I think
Donovan was the only dude comfortable in that series.
Yeah, and I think.
But then we saw it. We saw it play out. He missed 3 free throws. That dude was gassed
because he was so tired. You got nothing pretty much from Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley disappeared. Their bigs disappeared again in the series.
Jared Allen, I was disappointed.
And that's becoming a theme with them. That's becoming a theme in terms of Cleveland. Their bigs disappearing.
Happened against the Knicks.
The Knicks a couple years ago. I understand there's a little more nuance to it than that, so I don't want to just be like they got punked. But it looked similar.
Yeah.
And what I will say is I do not like quoting this person all the time, but it's a little bit of what Draymond Green says sometimes. You got 16-game players. You got 82-game players, and some teams are built for the regular season.
But so here's what I'm trying to figure out. I agree with you to a certain extent. How much of what happened in that series had to do with 3 of their best players were just not healthy?
I think a lot of it had to do with that, actually, because it changed the dynamic of how they played.
Yeah.
And
then Atkinson made some mistakes because of it, trying to overcompensate for the fact that they were hurt. But I still think Atkinson's a great coach. I still think Cleveland's a great team. And I think if they run it back, they'll be good. They just have to make some tweaks around the margins. The bigger question with them, and we'll obviously get back to this.
They need another wing.
Yeah, the Hunter trade was good. I think at this point they need they might need to move on from Garland and or Allen.
I don't say and or Allen.
I don't like doing that after just based off this, but I feel like next to Donovan Mitchell, you honestly need a Drew Holiday type.
I don't like small backcourts. People knew this is why a couple years ago when it came for the Knicks with a chance to get Donovan Mitchell and they didn't get him. I was like, okay.
Yeah, him and Brunson. I
didn't like that for him. Yeah. I didn't like that backcourt. I think they're both talented, but I just think put it like this: if the Knicks had got Donovan Mitchell, and let's say they still made, it's tough to say. Let's say they still got Bridges because they probably wouldn't have had OG because they would have had to give up RJ in that deal to get Donovan Mitchell. I still like this version of this team better. They got more size. I think they're more versatile offensively. I think that I just don't like small backcourts. Look at Portland. Look at Cleveland. I don't like small. I like both of their guards. I like Garland. I like Donovan Mitchell. I just think if you had Donovan Mitchell with a bigger guard, like if Donovan Mitchell was playing with Mikal Bridges beside him, I think that's much better. For the team.
They need a bigger guard that could defend.
They can score a little bit too.
Good touch.
Like the Knicks offense here. Knicks now up by 9.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked at how comfortable they look against the Boston defense that was really good during the season.
Well, I mean, I think you've taken away one of their top defenders too now, and Jay Tatum.
Yeah, but
Tatum's
even
a good
before
defender.
even before the Tatum injury, it's like they get into the fourth quarters and they can't miss. They scored 37 points in the third quarter of Game 4.
Yep. Then the offense looked good as they had all series, and then they executed well in the fourth again too. But how much of that is like this Knicks team doesn't get tight when they're down? And they got the leaders. I've been saying this since midseason that their identity might be that they're a clutch team.
Oh, they are for sure. I still think it's not a way you want to live.
Nah, you don't want to be living down 20. Nah, I feel you on that.
Because they did it against Detroit.
Yep.
They're doing it in this series against Boston. This game is different. Obviously, they're ahead, but that eventually catches up to you.
Facts. I agree with you.
And
I mean, we learned that in Game 3.
Yeah.
Right. And it definitely caught up to them there. But
Game 3 is how a lot of people thought the entire series would go. But Boston has some old bad habits that they fell back into.
I like how
I think part of it is
to the rack. I still like that. Even though he missed that
part
shot.
of it is also like Porzingis, man. Like he's been so bad,
and that's what Ty was saying. He unlocks everything,
even defensively too.
Yeah.
Like he gives you more rim
I
protection.
think he would have been a difference maker. I still think the Knicks would have won some of the games they did, but I think he's a huge good defense by Deuce. I still think the Knicks would have won some of the games they did here, but I think it's a closer series. Maybe it would have been 2-2 going back here.
But yeah, like I don't know if they
Porzingis.
blow both games. If
not.
Porzingis is right, you know what I mean?
Probably not.
I don't like. That's the thing I keep trying to figure out. If they had just won those 2 games in Boston,
Boston did.
Yeah, if the Celtics don't blow those, like I thought this series was gonna go the way games 1 and 2 did before the comebacks. I'm like Boston's gonna shoot a bunch of threes.
So Game 3 basically. Yeah. I did too. It's a nice drive. I think a lot of people did. Because like how could you not? Like that's what we were presented with before. You know?
Buckets.
The Pacers series will tell us a lot, you know.
And how the Knicks play. Yeah, they can't look down to their opponent if they get there.
When they get there.
Timeout. Little run here. 42-40.
Tibbs is gonna let him play.
Tibbs is letting him play.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, they're lucky.
Backcourt.
Back?
Yeah, he
How's it over back?
Because I don't think Hart had established himself.
I thought he was.
I don't think so either.
I don't think Hart established himself.
Let's see.
Are we gonna get a replay?
Yeah.
Hangs?
I don't know. That's not a backcourt.
Hart didn't come down. That's what
I thought he caught the ball. It was already like where the leprechaun.
Yeah, but he jumped from.
Don't disrespect
backcourt.
Lucky.
He jumped from backcourt and he caught the ball in the air right before he landed. That's why.
I guess that's what it is.
He has to just land beforehand. Oh, I was like, what?
Knicks gotta be careful here. They gotta close this
Do
quarter
they?
strong. No, they gotta close this quarter
Do
strong.
they?
You can't give them no hope.
The game don't start till the fourth quarter, remember?
I was saying the game don't start till they're down 20.
Greg says the Cavs have enough to get Giannis.
Do they?
I mean, Garland, Allen.
So
picks.
Garland, Allen picks.
I don't know how many picks they have. Because
their picks aren't that valuable.
They get. I think that's a little. I think picks are valuable. They should be seen as valuable just because you can't keep teams together anymore. So everyone's run is going to be shorter.
Yeah.
This is why for the Knicks, like maximizing this run is important because like
at some point
it's gonna get too expensive. Injuries happen. Like you don't know in this league. Look at the Celtics. They thought they would have like another few years. And now their run, it might be done now.
It's over because their owner already said like they can't keep this team together. Think about this.
Once
right?
their owner said, "I'm selling" after winning the title, I was like, "Uh-oh."
We overrate championship windows. We thought the Lakers window was open, one championship done. The Bucks.
I agree.
How many championships we thought the Bucks were going to win? Now
and the Bucks title was. you know.
Oh, because
They got a lot of injury luck, man.
This is why the age of the NBA. That's what kind of goes back to the Bridges thing. If you think you can have a window, you have to try and go for it. But you may not have that long. Even damn, that was a great shot. Sheesh. The Celtics window, right? You never know what can happen with injuries.
Never.
Injuries can change a lot.
Now, granted,
and
their
Jalen
window
Brunson's a small guard. This is why, like, you have to cash in on opportunities.
Granted, their window was long. Six Eastern Conference Finals appearances in 8 years. It was a pretty long.
That's a great window. You signed for that.
Yeah,
I know they only got one title out of it, but a lot of those guys were young. You would sign for that window in a heartbeat.
But I guess the window I'm talking about more so. But that's a fair point.
Yeah,
I
talking about post
that's the Jays window. But like
with Drew Holiday
and Porzingis and
like
Derek White, I think they thought that would go a little bit longer because they extended all of them. But like,
I mean, you can't anticipate
Brunson's ankle. It's a little sensitive on the ankle, huh?
Well, I mean,
he's not 100%.
Not 100%. It was always going to be that.
I'm telling you, man. If he needs off-season work done, that's not a great. So we'll see when we get there.
Celtics get back with the lead. Jalen Brown feeling himself.
They got to prove they can keep it. But like, yeah, I mean, runs like they just happen. You know what I mean? Like Milwaukee's run kind of came and went.
Yeah.
Miami had a 5-year.
You know, they've won one playoff series since the championship.
Right. Miami had a 5-year run with Jimmy. They went to the finals twice, and now that's over. You know what I mean?
That's a good run in today's NBA to me.
It's a great look. This year, once this series is over, this year will be the first year you get someone other than the Cavs, someone other than the Celtics, Heat, or Bucks in the finals since the Raptors.
Yeah.
For the East.
I mean, and like that's the thing. This changing of guards sometimes. You're gonna get new. I think the Knicks, the way they're designed, I think they got to tweak some things to their bench. They're designed to have at least a solid run where I think they could have a couple of Eastern Conference Finals appearances and some cracks at it. You know, but it's a little bit of luck.
Offensive rebound,
killing them on the offensive glass.
Yo, do you just keep Mitch at this point?
It's funny you thought about trading Mitch, but he's also changed his perception with this playoff.
Oh run. Wow.
Brunson got knocked over.
So the thing about Mitchell Robinson, let's not forget he missed over half the season.
And that's something. Can you? I wonder still for the Knicks, could you get a center that maybe isn't as good on the glass, but good enough with another piece to split that $13 million up for your cap, so you have a little more depth? Is that and maybe get another wing?
Someone who could do anything on offense. You mean?
Right. That's maybe the way they think about doing it. I hate talking about off-season stuff because they still haven't even got to the off-season. But
it matters. And look, the answers are going to come depending on how the playoffs ends. Ultimately,
you might be able to get that from a team that really needs a center, like
Pritchard.
The Lakers.
Oh yeah, but the Lakers are looking at Gafford. I think he's going to be their center.
Yeah. It's funny they should trade with Nico again.
What if Nico gives them Cooper Flag?
Honestly, Jared Allen could go to the Lakers. Jared Allen's someone like if I'm the Lakers, I would inquire. You know,
I would too.
I think Bam is the guy that they really should inquire about, but Miami is never. Like they're not doing that.
That's a
alley-oop? Nope, not there.
Come on, Deuce. Woo!
Josh.
Was that Josh?
Josh.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Josh.
My bad.
He's
Sorry.
shooting a 3 well in the playoffs.
Look at that.
Clyde traveling.
and Clyde.
He looked so good shooting a 3. You thought it was Deuce.
I did. That's what it was. Cookies.
The arc was flat. I was like, I don't think that's Deuce.
So he just lost it. Old age, man. Can't hold on to the ball as firmly as you used to be able to.
Payne Pritchard's 2 for 6 from 3. I need one more for that over. I don't have Jalen Brown turnovers yet, though. He only has 1 turnover. It's a little surprising. His 5-to-1 turnover ratio, Jalen Brown. Wow. Look at that.
It's going to change, guys. It's still early.
Yeah.
He's got
Come on, Josh.
He's
Woo!
He's taking the shot.
He's shooting with confidence.
That cat's been on the bench so long.
3 fouls, man.
Yep.
Are the Knicks going to have a lead at halftime?
It's shocking because you haven't seen it in this series.
Let's see. Guard screen. Uh-oh. That's good.
Oh,
that's their only chance.
The Knicks should be able to clean up some of this stuff at halftime because you don't have a Tatum to worry about. They still have a lot of good shooters, but your defense should be less stressed here.
Josh Hart, a couple of threes, man. There we go, Josh.
Back to back, too. Big 2 minutes here.
Good head fake.
out of control.
What's he doing?
How is that a blocking foul? Respectfully.
Yeah, Anunoby didn't know what he was doing there.
Yeah, I thought that should have been a no call.
You can't reward him for that.
Drew.
Drew Holiday's like, nah, son. We got to get this.
That could have been a charge easily.
I think that's a no call.
Yeah, see, I think I would just let it be a no call. I thought that's what it could be. All right, here we go. In the chat, we got Greg. He says, offseason wish list, Devin Booker to Detroit.
Ooh.
Ja Morant for trade.
I mean,
Devin Booker to Detroit?
I don't like that if you're a Knicks fan, but I like that as a basketball.
But Devin Booker has been like, I'm 10 toes down in Phoenix. I'm not going nowhere.
And the Suns don't want to trade him.
They don't want to trade him. Should they trade him?
They absolutely should.
Yes.
Would they?
They still have new owner syndrome.
Matt Ishbia is like, no, and Devin Booker said he wants to be there. Now, I think you could question why, but he doesn't want to leave. So I don't think Devin Booker's going anywhere, to be honest, if I'm being honest. Now, trade for Ja?
Who?
Trae Young for Ja Morant, he's saying.
Trae Young for Ja Morant.
I think both teams say no, but I think both teams are more open to trading those guys than people think.
Yeah. Trae Young for Ja Morant. I don't think that helps either of those teams.
Does Ja need to be in Atlanta?
Yeah, right?
Does Ja need to be in Atlanta?
Yeah.
He's bringing guns to the strip club in Memphis. What's he going to do in Atlanta?
Open carry state?
I'm just saying. I don't like it. It's a weird because I could see how Trae would benefit Memphis. I think Memphis' best shot is they probably going to trade Triple J.
Jalen Brunson Muse, who's all over the chat. We see you. We appreciate it. It says clear blocking foul, and also says Achua look to be checked again.
Very important moment. He needs to play good so we keep him. When you say keep him,
on the floor,
Brunson Muse, keep him on the floor or keep him.
Period.
I'm also shocked Jalen Brunson Muse thinks that was a blocking foul.
Yeah, he thinks it was.
I mean, I think if you're a Knicks fan, you think it's a blocking foul.
That's what
I think it's a no call.
Yeah, OG had no idea where he was going.
He was about to. He looked like he was about to just toss it up wildly.
I thought they were going to call a charge or even a travel.
It's a no call, man. That should be a no call. But if you're Missoula, you want to burn your challenge there in the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, if they win it, then whatever. But I'm somebody who unless I have a star in bad foul trouble.
Yeah, like you saw Garland the other night have 4 fouls. First half.
Like I'm not using I'm not using it that before the third or fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, ideally.
Like, you know what's just quickly, y'all? What's fun about Knicks Pacers?
Mm-hmm.
Both fan bases want the rematch. Now the Knicks fan wants it because they want to avenge what happened last year. Pacers fans want it because for 12 months they've been hearing that they only beat the Knicks because of health. So they're like, all right, we'll beat y'all again and prove that was no fluke. Both fan bases want to see each other. So that's what I think makes that series so interesting.
It makes it great. You got all the history.
Obviously the history of Knicks Pacers.
It's great.
Reggie's on the call for the broadcast.
Oh man, this is great.
I love that.
I want it. This is that they played last year, like you mentioned. This is what the NBA needs. We don't get enough of these back-to-back matchups in a conference finals.
We might get it too with if Denver comes back and beats
Minnesota,
beats OKC, Nuggets, Wolves.
I think
the only one we recently kept getting was Heat Celtics. We got it 3 times.
Yeah,
but in the West,
and those were good series.
In the West, I don't feel like
the West is too stacked. That's why.
Yeah, so we got Denver Lakers a couple times.
Yeah. We got Grizzlies Warriors a couple times.
The Nuggets kept spanking them, so they held
up. Still haven't gotten Lakers.
You're right. You could get rematches.
In both conferences from the second round.
From the second round in the conference finals, that I think is good for the league. Now the league is not going to be thrilled. They're going to be like, we only got one big market here. We got New York.
The league would love to have Warriors Knicks. We're not going to get the Warriors because the Warriors aren't.
And the thing that works about Knicks Pacers too is like it's a lot of the same dudes coming back from last series.
Yeah.
Like Towns is new, and McHale obviously, but a lot of the same dudes coming back. That's why Heat Celtics worked. Like there were some moves around the fringes, but it was constantly the 2 J's versus Jimmy and Bam, and then you had like your other pieces around.
A near 3-0 comeback.
Yeah, like that. That's the last. I mean, the last. It just happened. So like that's
we kept getting it with the Pacers and LeBron.
Yeah, that was
we did get a bunch of those.
Pacers, LeBron, yeah, and the Heat kept knocking them out. But I mean, the Pacers felt legitimate, you know.
And won. Yo.
too little.
Man,
You should do the too
he
small.
should have done that. Too small. Greg says Dex switches. Fabian said, keep Ja the F out of Atlanta. Laugh my ass off. He getting locked up. I'm saying, you do not want that man in Atlanta. That is not good news. And Jalen Brunson Muse says he meant keep Precious Achiuwa on the team. I don't know if Precious Achiuwa is
what
going
is
to be
the
back.
fascination with Precious Achiuwa?
I don't know if Precious
get it.
Achiuwa is going to be back, man.
I don't know either. Look, it won't cost much.
But like,
I think
people
were cost less than
the
$7 million game this year. You think
people
he lost
were going
money?
to the world of
Has he
play
earned money?
Precious more. I never understood.
Has he earned
that.
money?
No, in my opinion.
Is someone giving him a tax pyramid level? Like, I don't know.
I don't know
about that.
This is
room
gonna
exception,
be a 3. He's
maybe.
shooting.
Room exception.
You know he's shooting it.
Jalen Brunson is feeling.
The problem with this, though, we saw this in game 2, right? And then in the second half, he was on empty. Because that knee is just.
He was cooking in early on.
He'd be feeling himself.
And then second half is turnover central. Attack, don't pull.
I guess.
Give me that.
Yo, what?
Cookies.
He's always hopping.
How is that
down.
short?
He's always hopping up, and his shots have been short lately.
Hamstring.
Oh, nice spin move.
And that was the dangerous thing about his contract. For the over. Wow, Jalen Brown.
he's tired too.
Oh, what a bad pass.
Bad pass, Brunson.
Ooh,
on him.
You're not allowed to say that. Jalen Brunson Muse is in the chat.
Yo, Jalen Brunson Muse, I'm sorry, Jalen Brunson Muse. I can't say anything bad.
That was very Anthony Richardson like.
Greg took a line out. Greg says he will drive Precious to JFK right now. Everybody has that one person on the team.
You have Huck Purdy. They're not gonna resign. I'd be stunned if they resign.
I don't see him coming back. I just don't see it.
Do we get a Hauser, appearance? Hauser's got 1-3.
Yeah, he's there now. They got to see him again. I think Precious is an NBA player. He's a rotation player. I just don't think he has a place on this team moving forward if they're gonna commit to Huck Purdy.
Shot? Like that's the shot you wanted?
Yeah, that was silly. I know it's Derek White, but
that's not a foul.
He's flopping all over.
That's why.
He's gonna cook him. And he's gonna kill him.
Tie game. Halftime.
Brunson's
Who do you trust?
Brunson's flopping all over the place on that.
He was trying to get that call.
He was.
All right, so we're tied at the half.
Good game.
There we go. My daughter. This is late for my daughter. I feel like it's almost bedtime, Simone. She just checked in. She says, "Boo." I think she means boo the Celtics, not the Bucks. Nope, no Bucks.
Well, boo the Bucks too, because they're about to blow it up.
There we go. My daughter always tuning in. She tunes in at halftime. She must have forgot to come on early. We're gonna step aside for the half. We come back. Myself, Todd Butler from ESPN Radio New York, and Bryan Fonseca will have everything to talk about in the second half. A lot to talk about. Stay tuned with us. We'll be right back. All right, people, back here. Knicks started the third quarter tied with the Celtics at 59. Dexter Henry, Bryan Fonseca, Ty Butler of ESPN Radio New York, and Bleacher Report here in the building. Oh!
Yeah! This is what
Let's go, baby!
Fireworks
Let's
immediately.
go!
That's what I'm talking about.
So
Old school, baby.
Yeah!
oh man, I feel like this series has
Let's
been lacking
go.
this.
Yeah.
A little. What do we call this, Brian? Is this a kerfuffle? Is this a skirmish?
It's fisticuffs, it's a kerfuffle, it's a brouhaha, it's everything.
Double text.
Look at that, look at
No,
that.
this is gonna be double text. Now you watch this. Look.
Oh, he didn't like that screen.
He didn't
So
like
he
the
was
screen.
going, and then they, yeah.
Yo,
Jalen Brown, look, Jalen Brown don't like that shit. Josh Hart don't like that shit either.
that the first push away by Hart was clearly a F out of here push away. Get off me.
I give Jalen Brown credit for some of these because like he does kind of like he's in there. You know what I mean? He's not one of these dudes like he'll like start running away or whatever. Josh Hart was in there too.
He wanted to smoke.
With a cut on his face already, as we established.
Okay,
Double technical.
Yeah.
Double text as we
Makes
saw.
sense.
I'll
Look at
I
that.
like
Immediately back in the third quarter, and we're in shits.
I like
It's
it.
the
already.
first time we got something like this.
It took
all
19
series.
seconds, guys.
Oh,
19 seconds.
This might happen a good amount.
What was wrong with the screen?
Yeah.
What was he so mad about?
Because
he
he leaned,
grabbed him up.
because he leaned into it. That was really it. And then Josh Hart's just like, "Yo, tired of you." Jalen Brown, come on. Yeah, y'all both. It's either nothing or y'all both get technicals. Honestly, like
I think this is going to light a fire under Josh Hart even more
I think it'll light a fire under Jalen Brown too.
for more turnovers.
Yeah, maybe.
Light the fire! Light the fire! What did I say? Light the fire!
If Josh is hitting those threes,
Woo!
they're
You shouldn't
not-
have done that.
Celtics have no chance.
That void might have messed up right there. I'm just saying.
All right, so they started Kristaps in the game early. And the second half, they're starting Cornette.
Yep.
So
That means Kristaps is gassed.
something to pay attention to here.
Good take there by Drew Holiday.
Drew hasn't been good in this series.
Yeah, he's looking older this series.
Defending champs with some pride, not trying to go out like this at home.
Greg says best part of the game for Bryan easily. You know how I am with the fights, Greg.
He's here for the fights.
Yeah, all the time. Uh-oh.
Man, come on, Cat. That box out
Cat
there.
had to help over because
He
Jalen
did.
beat Brunson.
Luke
so-
Cornett's just a better anchor defensively at this point, it appears.
So a
And if
four-point
Cornette,
possession.
if Porzingis ain't giving you shit offensively, then
That's not a
what are you
foul.
gonna do? Oh,
Nice save.
What a save!
See how
Uh-oh.
back in the day,
On Cat.
is that 4 on Cat?
Yes, that
Jesus
is.
Christ. Can't help himself. Oh, that looked good.
That's a great save. What an effort. That's
Everyone got him.
that's the kind of effort they didn't lift the team, though.
Joe Mazzulla didn't say get up that time. He
Yeah.
actually was like, he was trying to help him. Show the cat foul. I
Yo,
want
he,
to see.
he said that Missoula, after Tatum got his surgery, was in the hospital. Like, get up, get up.
He, didn't- he wasn't, to be clear, but that was like a meme thing that went around. Missoula's a psycho
You have to sit Cat down here, right?
in an endearing way. Yeah, 4 fouls. Yeah,
You just can't trust him.
4 fouls with a 3-run lead. Yeah, you sit him.
No, they're not, though.
You don't need him right
They're
now.
not sitting him.
Mitch
though.
is giving you great minutes. What's the point?
Cat was like, yo, I cannot foul. I don't trust that.
Unless it wasn't on him somehow. But like,
I don't see how it was.
he has
wasn't.
3.
Oh,
So
guess
was
it
that
wasn't.
not on him?
So he gave it to
guess-
someone else.
Oh,
Okay.
I guess they gave it to somebody else.
There's your answer.
Uh-oh. Fool.
Yeah, I saw that too. I actually think you could
Bridges, we haven't heard from him since the first quarter.
I know he had that great first shot.
Another 3 for Hart. Woo! Josh Hart, man.
Close
So
out
the Knicks
game.
shot 47% from 3 in the first half.
Derek White.
How many threes Josh Hart? Is that 5? For White, is that 5?
5 or 6, yeah.
You can't leave him open.
When did he get the ball back? Thanks, TNT, for letting us see that pass.
The Knicks are pushing off of makes. Closeout game, Josh Hart is usually pretty good. He closed the Sixers series out last year with a 3.
That was quick.
That's unacceptable if you're Al Horford.
That's crazy because Al Horford actually pointed to him for someone else to pick him up. But no one was there.
Cat, that was a good look from Cat. You got to give credit to Cat on that.
Here comes Peyton Pritchard.
So who's he replacing?
Horford, maybe?
Or Holiday.
Holiday just gave you a nice little bucket.
I think it could be Horford to
is
size
Horford in
down
foul trouble?
Yeah, it's Horford.
Yeah.
So essentially Jalen Brown at the 4, I suppose. Horford, yeah, he's 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Celtics a lot smaller right now.
Mm-hmm. Which means
killed on the glass.
Yeah, but they're gonna shoot. They're just gonna shoot, and they're gonna hope Luke Cornett. Oh,
good defense. That's Cat. That's on Cat.
No, I thought OG.
I thought that was OG who pushed him.
I thought Cat got him with the bump going by. I guess so.
Yeah, OG's looking around like he pushed him.
He got him with the spin, and OG was trying to recover, and then he ended up just getting handsy. It was a little surprising to see OG get not cracked, but by Derek White. You know what I mean?
I'm paying attention to that hamstring the rest of their playoff run.
Yeah,
I don't think that just goes away.
I think all I'm paying attention to all their ailments because
Brunson's ankle, Cat's finger.
They've played heavy minutes, round 3 Tibbs. You know what I mean? These games are going to be tough next round that we're anticipating. One big injury swings it in either direction. So that goes for the Pacers too.
Celtics missing free throws.
Look at Josh Hart.
Get it to Cat.
Or keep it because Luke Cornett is on you. Oh, there's a switch.
Got him.
Oh. Wow, that looked good.
That was well short. Cookies.
Drew still thinks it's 2021.
They called it offensive foul?
Offensive.
Did he?
He got hit in the face. Derek White's just protesting the process of how it was done, but
he's saying I was going up. What do you want me to do?
Let's see. That was tough. That was tough to see.
Elbow.
Why would they take a look at this? He's just going up. That's incidental.
Yeah.
Also, I have to be honest. I think it's a bad call on the offensive foul. Yo, why Joe Mazzulla? He won't fight somebody.
Yeah, I don't think you want to fight Joe Mazzulla. That dude is crazy.
He practices jiu-jitsu.
Yo, his eyes.
He practices jiu-jitsu, yo.
His eyes.
That's also when he was doing that, I was like, oh, okay, I'm in now. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't like he wants blood on the floor. He was just, what was that weird comment he had about he likes seeing blood on the floor?
Yeah, he compares it to gladiator shit. He's a madman. Look, that's the type of coach though that I respond to. Not the only type, but that's one of the types of coaches I respond to. I ain't gonna hold you.
I'm sure you would respond to that.
Honestly, Tibbs too.
This is my first time seeing a full trailer for this Superman movie.
Tibbs is not he's not like Mazzulla in that way, but he has his own measure of nuttiness.
I mean, the Superman movie doesn't look terrible. I don't be into the DC stuff, but it don't look terrible.
I'm not gonna watch this. I know that.
You're a movie hater. You don't watch movies.
I still haven't seen The Sinners.
I haven't either.
How was it?
Fantastic. It's fantastic. You should see it.
Yeah, no, I want
it's really
to.
Damn good.
I really want to.
Not the thing from James Gunn I'll be watching. But Peacemaker 2 is coming back. So Peacemaker's coming back for season 2.
I actually want to see the Superman movie. This looks
good.
good.
This actually looks good. DC generally does not bring it.
Oh, this is up my brother's alley for sure.
I'm not even a super big superhero movie guy. I just lean more to some of the Marvel stuff. But I mean, if anything, Batman I'll watch.
Yeah.
Usually that's the only DC comic character I'm kind of into. But this Superman actually looks dope.
Comes out the same day as the Amanda Serrano fight. So I'm definitely not going to see it when it comes out.
I don't know when the last time I've been to see a movie as soon as it released.
The day it came out.
Like,
you didn't see, I thought you saw Sinners.
No, I saw it on my birthday. It had been out for like 2 weeks. I saw it like 2 weeks after it came out. I don't know the last time I've seen a movie like the day it came out.
I couldn't tell you either.
Couldn't tell you that. It's a long time.
I don't know if I ever have
I have. It's just been a long time.
When's the last time I saw a movie the day it came out?
I wish I could tell you.
But I don't think
I saw Oppenheimer too.
I don't think I saw that the day it came out.
I definitely didn't. I can tell you that. I saw Oppenheimer maybe 2 months after it came out.
I know the movie exists.
What?
Oppenheimer. I didn't see it though.
Oh, you never saw Oppenheimer?
No.
Fantastic.
I don't watch movies like that.
I like Christopher.
He says
Nolan's
I'm a movie
movies.
hater. It's not that, but I don't watch movies like that.
Christopher Nolan's a genius.
I saw that they said that they're gonna like
Tenet. I don't think I've ever seen it.
I've heard of that.
Tenet's the one with John David Washington.
I've heard of all of these.
Change the time and he does. I love Nolan, but that might be the most disappointing movie I've ever seen. Tenet. Now I didn't see it in the movies because that came out like during the pandemic, and I saw it at home. Tenet, I was so hyped in it. Yeah, I won't talk about that.
I saw that AMC is like, we're gonna like cut the cost of movies in half or some shit in July, and I'm like, that still ain't gonna get me to the theater. I ain't gonna hold you.
Also, because you got a couple of kids.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and I was explaining this last time as a dad, most of my movie going now is with my daughter and what she wants to see. So I'm going to see these movies. Like the last movie I saw was Sinners with Snow White. Did I want to go see Snow White? No. Sorry, Simi, if you're watching. But
I was gonna say, I'm like, bro.
I just watched.
But you do it for the kids. You do it for your kids.
Oh wow, they gave him the shooting foul because it's his shooting motion.
Wow.
So it was a foul on Brunson.
Yeah. So I watched Frozen for the first time yesterday.
Look, man, you're at that time. You're gonna have to watch these movies and multiple times.
Yeah. What did I watch today?
He's like, I'm not ready for this.
I've seen Encanto twice because of my fiance's nieces.
Encanto was dope.
I haven't seen Encanto yet. I did see Moana.
Moana. My daughter went to see Moana too. I didn't go with her to see for that experience.
What's the Celtics free throw percentage?
Let's see.
Like they're missing a ton of free throws.
Tyriq White points over, fucking smashed. What am I looking up?
Celtics free throws.
9 of 15.
Yikes.
Knicks are 15 of 17. Mitchell Robinson making the
knock away by Drew Holiday.
9 of 15.
Drew Holiday's in his 16th year, man.
That's gonna loom large, man.
Crazy.
One possession games. You're missing free throws.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, what a cut! And that's a foul.
That was a
crowd
fall.
Disagreed.
He's getting abused in this game.
Yeah, but he's playing like a warrior.
He's driving. He's attacking.
Yeah, which you like. That's what you like to see from Harvey. He's not, and he's taking the shots.
Look at that.
That's a great cut. I feel like that's the most underrated part of Josh Hart's game. He's amazing cutter.
It's funny. That's like my favorite part. Of his game.
Yeah, of course.
Him on the fast breaks too,
and the rebounding also.
Guy.
Yeah,
he's an underrated finisher too.
Yeah.
How does Cornette lose him like that?
I know.
Oh damn!
Get caught watching the ball. Yeah, Porzingis. I feel badly for him because I don't know what this mysterious illness is, but
it's like a viral infection. Apparently,
if you've ever had a viral infection, it can really sap your energy, man.
Like it's still unclear.
It's been going on for like 3 months.
Like
that's the crazy part.
Even Bill Simmons has been like, "Yo, like they're not telling us, basically."
And we shouldn't know. It's none of our business.
You know?
Yeah.
Personally, it's he's the
no, yeah, but sometimes it gets reported or whatever, and I'm like, look, if he don't know, then we ain't gonna. Find out.
That's
a foul. That's 4 fouls.
Yep, that's cat. Like,
and just on a human level, I'm afraid for him because if you don't know, the most nerve wracking thing I think for anybody.
Let's see Cat here.
It's not knowing what it is.
Can't move those puppies.
He reached. He didn't need to reach there. As simple as that. He didn't need to reach. Move your feet.
That was too easy.
Wait, they're in the penalty already?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Wow. Yeah, bonus. Wow.
But they're not hitting them, but
yeah, but if they get enough attempts, that's a problem in itself. In in itself.
Cat's played 14 minutes and has taken 5 shots.
Yeah, I know what I'm trying to say.
8 points. Like
Campaign is 3 fouls? Where? What? Did he play 3 minutes?
Campaign is always
played
your
5
campaign is Mr. Heat Check.
yo,
Where did Campaign get 3 fouls?
That is the campaign experience.
Campaign is the Heat Check, but for other guys. Like Towns have hit a couple threes, and he's like, "All right, here's my time to shine."
You must have got it when we were talking about Michael Sweetney and
It must have been then.
and Lampe and Tim Thomas. I just brought up Lampe.
Yeah, you did not mention Lampe.
NBA Live 04 legend. Not actually. He was terrible in that game. Oh, that was a travel.
Yeah, he did travel.
They kept Cat in the game. The kids kept Cat here.
Interesting. Luke Cornett is like, can you review that?
Yeah, he's traveled.
I don't think you can. Damn. I don't know if I'm keeping Cat in the game here. Mitch is giving you good minutes.
I agree with you.
Like, what do you need Cat for? You can't hack a Mitch either because he's making free throws. Just play Mitch.
If this was a game, I think, where I was a little more worried about the offense and Tatum was in it, then yes.
Yeah, and you're up 3-1.
I would.
Oh, boy. Straight away.
Knicks need a timeout. They're down 7.
Game
now.
of runs.
Man, sit down.
Oh, there it is. The Beetle. Not. What are these dudes called?
Beantown?
No.
The group, the Beatles,
Beastie Boys. There
the
you go.
Beastie Boys. All right, Celtics
the
up
wannabe,
7.
the wannabe Beastie Boys, because Beastie Boys are actually,
Celtics up
Yeah.
7, which means the Knicks have it right where they want them.
I agree. Knicks just have to have a
not
close
quite.
one
They need to
fourth.
take more of a deficit
Yeah,
first.
They're like Tips is in the huddle. It's like, all right, guys, let's push it to 15.
Can't go further than
Let
that.
them get to 16 before the
16.
quarter.
Exactly.
Then we get them right close, and we do what we do in the fourth quarter.
I think, I think, like, because I've seen the series already and I've seen it happen, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah, you're just numb to it.
yeah, it's just like, we'll see what happens when there's 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Like, that's kind of where I'm at, And part of me was like, Celtics could win today. So.
The ball movement is the noticeable difference in this game. Like, as great as Tatum is,
Right.
the ball stops with him. And
Mhm.
now, because they're forced to, since they got Brown, but he's really the only one-on-one guy, they got to move it around.
Yeah.
And get it to those shooters.
And what's Bryan was harping on this the last game where we sat here. Bryan was so much like, he was with Candace Pedraza, and Bryan was like, in the second half, he's like, look, this doesn't bode well for the Celtics because they're relying so much upon Tatum. And he was right. And I was like, well, he's hitting these shots, but he's like, nah, that's going to cost him late. And it did, because nobody else was involved. And you saw it play out. Bryan was kind of on this Brown halftime.
This
that's what
happened
killed the
last
Knicks
night
against the Pistons, too.
This happened last night with Jokic. So
yeah,
Jokic,
I think that's a great point, too.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Nuggets not named Jokic last night in the fourth quarter, shot 1 of 15.
1 of 15.
Crazy.
And that's after Jamal Murray had a great third quarter.
Michael Porter Jr., I mean, him and Westbrook were just disastrous last night.
But you make a good point, too, and I think was part of Bryan's point, too. Sometimes when we have these great performances, these 45, 50-point games, 42 for Jason Tatum, we're like, oh, man, it's great. The superstar's doing what the superstar does, and everybody likes the hero buckets. But what does it do to the rest of the team if guys aren't getting involved?
It only works if you're en route to getting those points, blowing the other team out.
I kind of agree. When it's a tighter game,
Yeah, it's
it
a
bodes
tighter
well for the other
game.
team that's
Yeah.
playing more cohesively.
Unless it's like you're down 10 and someone just like, puts their cake.
You kind of need it,
Yeah,
but like if you're scoring 50 and you're blowing the other team out, it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, like,
but a lot of times in
Boston's-
high-scoring games, they're generally close games because of that. if you
Yeah,
notice that.
and to your point, like, because it's only Jalen Brown, and Jalen Brown's actually, like, I'm giving him credit for,
Yeah,
like,
he's playing
he's
well.
moving the ball. He's playing well.
He's played very well.
But, like, because it's just him and everyone else, like, Derek White's not somebody who's going to pound the ball. Payne Pritchard, like, he can a little bit, but he's one of the only guys that can on the team that's left. So the way that they're generating these shots now is actually much better than it was last game, and they're hitting them so far.
Yeah.
Now it's just a matter of whether or
Can
not
they
that's going to
keep that
sustain
up?
itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like if Derek White's getting an above the break 3, that's a problem for the Knicks. Because
I
like
agree.
Derek White, if he's getting that shot, he's gonna make that shot a lot. Oh boy.
This series is sad, man.
I
You
know.
said it's sad?
Yeah, because like
Warriors,
Steph,
Timberwolves.
like you don't want to see Steph get hurt. I'm not a Draymond guy at all, so like
I've never heard anybody say that they were. Now I think about it. Has anybody ever been like, yo, I'm a Draymond fan?
Yeah, I'm a big Draymond guy.
He annoys the shit out of me, but you know, I mean, I get it. Like you would think he's one of the guys I would like, but he's a bit much.
He's like
respect,
the UFC.
I respect his game and what he brings to winning basketball. I do.
Yeah.
I don't respect how he gets down on the court. Those are the two different things.
That was well defended.
Very well defended. It was no one touched the ball but Jalen Brunson on that possession.
Yeah,
those are the possessions Boston wants. Oh boy.
Heat check.
Yeah.
He kicked the legs out. I don't know about that.
Yeah, but you got to see the landing space.
I think he kicked the legs out.
He was too close there. He was too close there from the get. Let's see.
I don't like.
Let's see if Josh Hart has a case.
That's not what we need to see.
Of course, TNT, like ESPN does this too. I'm like, yo, this is not the play we want to see.
Yeah, that might be a flagrant.
They called it a flagrant the last game, right?
Yeah, they called that. Oh wow, they're not gonna look at it.
Looking at it.
They called that on Jalen against Brunson.
Yeah, that's right. Because the foot. That's so interesting that they didn't even look at it that time.
Man, get off your phone.
Yeah, you see that, right?
Get off your phone.
In the front row, like, oh, when the camera pans this way, I'm gonna wave.
Oh, those people are annoying.
Yo, the people who do that for like the second half hit the broadcasters, the broadcasters sitting at
right
the table,
behind.
So they'll go right behind the broadcasters.
Yeah.
The only people I ever excuse for doing that, this is somebody who does like play-by-play in color sometimes. Like I'll do it for college and kids will come behind.
I was gonna say for college and high school,
kids, I'll be like whatever. But when you're a grown ass man or woman, and you're out here, just come on. What are we doing?
Yeah, come on now.
What are we doing?
People love the camera, especially now.
You don't gotta tell.
Coming from 3 people on camera right now.
Yeah, I got stories for days about people loving the camera that piss me off. man. Especially my days of news reporting. That was annoying.
Jalen Brown's doing a decent job on Brunson this quarter. Oh wow,
that's a great block by Cornette.
Oh wow,
Knicks are rivaling a bit here, man.
And look, this is what they do until So we'll see.
Sometimes it's hard. Just take the shot, man.
And he's playing well. What
did the Knicks do
without Josh Hart?
Nothing. He's
they be down 20.
Yeah,
he did 3 fakes too. That's how you know he didn't really want to challenge him.
Cornette cat.
Oh,
you're lucky.
The over.
Oh yeah, we needed that. We need Towns to start scoring some buckets.
I need Jalen Brown to start turning the ball over a little bit. I think he still only has 1. I'm 2 for 2 so far though.
We need Towns to get involved here. Yeah.
Here's the post up.
Come on.
But Jalen Brown, he's not the easiest dude to post up either.
No, he's not.
It's like Drew Holiday almost. Look at the crowd. Josh.
Yeah, good defense.
Oh, wow.
This is the second time he got blocked by Cornette.
From behind,
Cornette's got to have 3 blocks in this game.
And he's not fouling.
Oh, he's been good.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. They wanted it above the break.
Good rebound.
Derek White, watch him. Oh, Josh Hart.
He took a shot to the face again?
Maybe. Remember I was saying that re-aggravation. Looks like he's fine, but on Pritchard.
Nice, though.
He wants it back. He wants it back, Carl. But now he's in a worse spot.
Drew should come over. Cornette, if you're gonna come, you gotta.
That's a tough possession for the Knicks, man.
He was well defended too.
Yeah, he was.
Pritchard. I'm telling you, Pritchard's not. He's small, but he's not like a chump defender, like a complete one. He's not like Tyler Hero.
Knicks need to stop here.
There's free throws there in the bonus.
That's a really. It's funny that felt like a really good stretch for Boston. It's still 11, and it's still a lot of time left in this quarter. Like a lot of time left.
Cornette, if you're gonna double, man, it has to be a hard double. It can't be a soft double.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This game still feels like if the Knicks keep it around where it is now or less, and the Celtics missing more free throws.
Wow.
Like Brunson's just primed for like a big fourth quarter. He's been kind of quiet here.
And Bridges, Bridges is going to start the fourth quarter.
That's true.
On fire.
He's going to start.
That's what I'd be worried about if I'm Boston. Matter of fact,
money line live bet the Knicks.
No, I'm gonna take them to cover. I was like 10.5. They'll cover that. I'll do half unit though because I'm up.
2 missed free throws.
Missed free throws.
What's that? They have like 8 missed free throws overall, something like that.
With the second half of these games, his legs are shot.
And a lot has been asked of him today.
On the knee.
Yep. Come on, Bridges. Need you now.
He's fourth quarter guy. He's like, it's not.
It's too early.
Yeah.
It's too early.
That looked like the same Josh Hart thing.
Almost, but he stepped in front.
They are a hunting cat. Jesus.
That's a spot.
16-3 run by the Celtics in the last.
All right, time to look at the Knicks money line.
Actually,
plus 680. All right, let's get all over that.
Yeah, I was gonna say
plus 680.
Yeah.
It's tempting. I ain't gonna hold you.
I mean, 14 is what the Knicks were down last game in the third quarter. I got friends texting me, Cat sucks.
Yeah, I'm seeing 680 also. That's incredible.
Oh, man. Do you want that Knicks money line? Great time to do it. How are we feeling in the chat? Jay McDougal said, best player in the world, white chocolate, Jason Williams. Okay.
Huh?
That was a random reference. Back to white chocolate.
I think I'm gonna do it.
I'm doing it.
Small play, but
yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
I hit that money line before the game. I wish I waited for a little more value.
I hit it before the game, but I'm also gonna hit it now.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. It's there. Why not?
It's just like
let's
even if you don't think it's gonna happen, you got it.
Let's all have fun. Why not? I feel like there's a world where you could get an even better number soon, but like I don't know. Is this Tatumless team gonna hold a 14-point lead? That's why I took them 10.5 also. So now I'm in the 10. See, and I said it too. I was like, I don't want Knicks props because I don't know how they're gonna flow offensively, but I wanted to wait for live betting opportunities. See, they got us with the gambling ads, bro.
Yeah.
Throw that shit in our face, and it's like, 10.5? What?
That's what they want.
What's the money line? What? I mean, but I also cover that. So
how about that? They've led by 14 in each game.
Wow. And they're down 3-1. That's gotta be. I wonder if that's happened before. Another block.
Yeah.
Like
Cornette out here looking like Mutombo.
Oh boy.
He rushed that.
Wow,
he rushed that
again. You talking about you rushed the first one time? That's
he rushed that one for sure. The other one, yeah, but what? Are they talking to each other? Oh no. I was gonna say
the second shot was awful.
Yeah, that was
like you've got all the momentum.
And that's the stupid stuff that the Celtics do to blow their leads. They rush shots when you get a second chance point, and you don't even like reset your offense.
All right, so who's gonna step up to help Jalen?
Mikal.
This is what he does.
There we go.
Big
bucket Bridges.
He just beats them to the baseline, and he just rises up. He looks so comfortable.
What was Anunoby doing there?
Yeah, he just froze.
I'm telling you, that hamstring, man.
You've been calling it and saying to watch it.
All right, we're gonna go back to Bridges here.
If his hamstring is bad, that's not good for Pascal Siakam.
Good rebound. Buckets.
Boy.
Oh,
that looked good too.
Yeah,
that was online and everything.
Came out nice.
Yeah, so he's shooting a lot now.
Knicks got to do something here with no Jalen Brown on the floor.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
But this is where they get themselves in trouble.
Well, stop it, Cornette. Stop it.
I got numbers.
And one. How do you not finish that? I mean, we heard the smack from Hauser. But you got to finish that.
I thought that was you smacking your leg.
No, that wasn't me. I smacked it after.
This is where the Celtics get themselves in trouble. Look, he's limping. Hauser.
What was his injury before?
The ankle.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so there you go.
He's down.
I mean, look, that's a meaningful. People look at it and be like, "Oh, that's Sam Hauser." That's a meaningful shooter.
He's hit a couple threes, man.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty big.
Like he's a regular rotation guy that matters in the playoffs because he's a guy that he soaks up minutes, especially without Tatum. You know, Knicks are shooting really well from the free throw line.
Which Celtics aren't.
That could be the difference in their eventual comeback.
It could be.
Oh, Jalen Brown's back
in the game.
This is where you got to get to the basket, Jalen.
Yeah. Horford's still out.
4 fouls. He'll probably start the fourth.
Torrey Craig's holding a ball. You could do that on the bench.
I did not know you could. He just passed it.
You could just do that?
I guess so.
Still no Porzingis.
I've been watching basketball for so long. I don't know if I've seen that. Like someone just especially like someone who's not in the rotation. You know what I mean?
He's like, I ain't going to get too many touches. I'll get him over here on the bench.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Again. Yo, it's like Brunson be having his face too close. It's like crowding the shooter's space, so they're going to call the foul on him. He's taking it, too. And the referee, I think, told him to put his... You could put your hand down.
Is that the dude from Stranger Things sitting courtside? Why did it look like him?
That was right next to the other dude.
See?
I think I saw that. He looked like he was yelling.
He's like, bro...
No, that's not him.
Okay.
He's like, bro, I got hit in the face again, and you're calling it on me?
Towns and Brunson with 4 down.
Ooh.
It's not good.
Ooh. All right, Mikhail. And Josh. Brunson,
Josh has done his thing so far.
Yeah.
The Knicks without Josh Hart would be down 25. You said he has 20 points?
I think it's 21.
More than 25, probably. Sheesh.
Josh Hart, 21 points. On 5 rebounds, 1 assist.
I'm sitting Towns for a minute if I'm Tibbs. Like a minute. You need defense now. Anyway.
Well, Mitchell Robinson is going to help you get some easy points here. Second chance. Maybe some lobs.
And Deuce was playing well. Deuce gave them good minutes before. They go on a run.
Another missed
He's such an uneasy
That's
free throw
something that
shooter.
could be really big. And the Knicks, I think, in the next quarter got to make sure
they're going to hack Mitch.
Yeah.
He's a guard that shoots 72, 73% from free throw. Yo. You read his lips.
I didn't read his lips. What did you say?
He's a Jesus effing Christ.
He's so annoyed. He's like this.
You know why? Because they're like, yo, you're not going to keep making free throws. Come on.
Who is he, 4 for 4 in the first half?
Yeah, let's see it. Oh, he's automatic.
Yo, he's Steve Nash.
He's Steve Nash. He's Allen Houston.
No.
He's Ray Allen. He's Steve Kerr.
Yeah. You're not going to miss tonight, man. Y'all been playing. Mitch is focused. He's not
Bro,
missing.
5 for 5.
Tonight. You're not missing. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. He's 6 for 6.
He's not missing tonight.
He's like Chad Pennington in 2002. He can't miss.
He's better than Jalen Brown.
This is crazy. Oh,
that's a great recovery.
That was
Mitch.
awful alley-oop attempt. Brunson's in the game?
Yeah.
Oh, with 4. Okay.
Rush that.
He had the right idea, though. I figured he would go scoop layup, but... Oh, nice move. And he overpassed. Oh, is that 5?
Is that on Brunson? Uh-oh. Look at the replay.
5 on Brunson? Uh-oh.
Show the replay.
Uh-oh.
Well, he's going to the bench.
Look at him. Look at him clapping. You see that, right?
I can't stand him.
Yeah. Oh, he had his hand in the cookie jar.
Did he hit his arm? Ugh.
Can they challenge?
They're not.
Yeah, I don't see how you'd win that anyway.
I'd foul Mitchell Robinson again.
Just keep doing it?
Yeah, I
would do it.
Be like, yo, you're not going to go 8 for 8.
You think you're going to go like 12 for 12?
Right.
Just keep fouling them.
Just keep doing it.
It's funny. If you're the Celtics, it makes sense at this point, especially with Brunson out. And this
or does it make less sense because Brunson's offense, like, you don't have to worry
so
about
much,
now.
right? You don't have to worry about as much. So maybe you don't want to. You like the offense is going to be stagnant anyway.
Yeah.
All right, we got some comments. Astrid is here checking in. She says, "Hey guys, joining late again." She got out of work, to be fair, late. Ryan says, "What the fuck is Brunson doing?"
Right.
He should. He's like, if you have 4, you got to defend like you have 4. You know,
other guys have to step up now.
Another help, yo. His help defense has been amazing.
Watch out for Derek White.
His help defense has been sensational.
Lean.
Damn, now I regret Knicks plus 10.5. Wait, it's fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, we still gotta wait.
Oh.
Business decision,
That's
Mikhail.
good offense. The ball is just kind of moving around here.
And Fabian says Mitchell Robinson is on fire.
He lost it out of bounds.
Another turnover by the Knicks.
Mitchell Robinson can't miss, bro. It's crazy.
Nah, the problem, Fabian, is he reached in there and got a piece of the arm. I just thought, for Ryan saying, I thought Brunson would have played a little bit smarter there. Not get his hand caught.
He was behind, so he probably going for the block.
I agree with Ryan.
But you're right. With 4 fouls, you gotta
you can't.
He says the Knicks look lost. I think this is their worst stretch since Game 3 for sure.
Yeah, I think it's funny. You wonder
6 blocks, Luke Cornett. 8 and 6.
Oh, that's why KP's on the bench.
They're like, yo, we're good.
I said it too. I was like, yo, KP's not giving you offense. Like, just go with him. He's a better rim protector right now.
Brown's got no lift on his shot. So
he's really made himself into legit. Oh,
he's gonna settle again.
Mismatch.
I agree. You called it, Ty.
I don't trust.
Wow, Payton Pritchard offensive rebound over Josh Hart. He wants to pick. No. He's like, I ain't setting no pick for you. Uh-oh. He wanted that one.
He can't jump.
Yeah, he got a flat tire there. He didn't get up nearly as high as I thought he was going to.
Look at this. This is a dunk. He can't jump. Like, I know OG makes a great play, but the dude can't get up.
Yeah, somebody here gets up quicker. You're not able to make a play on that there. Mitchell Robinson playing some heavy minutes. Ryan says we're going to Game 6, fellas.
Come on, man. The Knicks, they don't call them the cardiac Knicks for no reason.
We'll see. We got to see how the fourth quarter goes.
Watch the live play.
We got to see how the fourth quarter goes.
Knicks need to close.
I think Ryan's trying to reverse jinx, to be fair. I think he's trying to reverse jinx.
I mean, they're down 15.
But if we do, Ryan, if we do go to Game 6, then it's gonna feel like overtime for all of us here.
That anxiety.
Because we got Mets Yankees.
Oh, Subway Series. Oh yeah.
Subway Series on Friday.
And then Game 6 kind of becomes a must win.
I agree.
You can't play it. No play. No.
7?
I agree.
No.
You don't even want to chance it.
You don't want to chance it. And one.
And then you could be that could be offensive.
He used his leg.
Mm-hmm. And you risk the chance of getting dinged up before the Pacers series even more, like in a legitimate way.
So here's what's concerning.
Pacers are just chilling
even
right
if the
now.
Knicks win this game, can I give you my biggest concern?
Yes.
This
Hamstring?
team is too good to be down 14 plus points in 5 straight games.
I agree.
I get it's the Celtics, but it's not really the Celtics of last year. They're too good to be facing these deficits every single game, man.
Good block.
Good block, Mitch.
Also,
I agree with you on that.
But the entire Pistons series, that's where I was like, That was the other thing that made people say, yo, Boston's going to wipe them out because look at how they dealt with the Pistons where all the games were close.
Yeah.
Every single one. And the
Game
last
6 came down to a heroic Brunson shot.
multiple games came down to like the final seconds.
Knicks offense.
And I think that's the other thing. It's like how many times can you keep doing this? You know, how many times can you keep fighting out of these deficits? Like Indiana's done it a couple times, but Indiana's been stepping on teams.
Yeah.
You know, they've been stepping on the Cavs like toward the end. Like they closed them out.
You would like to. I feel like this was an opportunity for the Knicks to do that. Do I think they can do that if it comes back home? Yes, but like, damn, you had leads in this game. What's the Knicks' large lead in this game? They're up 8.
I think they were up 30-22.
Yeah, I think they're up 8 in this game.
I think what ultimately matters is you win.
Yeah.
But like how you win does matter after a while because it can be it's more taxing to win this way, you know. Ooh, this is a rough end to the quarter.
It's been a rough last 3 to 4 minutes.
No Brunson.
Brunson has 5, which is crazy. Cat has 4, which I don't think is killing you like that because Mitch has been so good.
But I thought could if they had generated some offense and you get this down to if this was down to 9 or something, you feel a little bit better about the Knicks going into this fourth quarter.
Josh Hart again.
Well. Oh.
That was ugly.
And the thing with Cat real quick is like if he goes out there, they're just gonna be looking for him. With 4, like they're just gonna be looking for him. They look for him even when he's foulless. So
the Knicks in that quarter
71
scored 17
91.
Points. You got outscored 32-17.
32-17.
You know what the biggest concern though is?
91-17.
Oh, you got a big concern now.
You're allowing 91 points through 3 quarters
without Tatum.
Without Tatum.
To a team that
I agree with that. We could talk all about the offense, but the defense.
To a team that's 17 of 26 on free throws.
Exactly. So it should be much worse.
And to
44% from three. So the 3-point percentage has gone down a little bit.
Which is like if the Celtics can shoot 44% from three, you're like, for the Celtics, you'll take that. For other teams,
depends, but yeah,
but
I get.
I think what's disappointing is they've also missed 9 free throws.
Yeah,
and you're
but
so that should be 100.
Well, here's the worry, right? So yes,
and
yes,
you're losing
Dex.
the rebound battle.
Yes, here's the thing though, guys. Like the free throws we just mentioned, Celtics are 17 of 26. The Knicks are 20 of 23. They've been awesome from the free throw line. That includes Mitch. Like Mitch cannot miss from the free throw line. They're 87% on free throws, and on top of that, you look at the Knicks. And their shooting percentage from three, they're 41%. You would think that'd be good enough. But here's the thing. Like, they can't make any twos. Everything they're doing inside the paint or just on
where
drives,
they dominated last game.
34%. And even with second chance opportunities, like, they're not cashing them enough. Not nearly enough.
No. And last game, they dominated in the paint. Knicks only shooting 34%, he said, from the field. That's not going to get it done. OG Anunoby, 1 of 11.
What's happened to OG? And I want to look at OG.
He was solid in game 4.
I think
you're terrible in game 2 and 3.
I think you're onto something with the hamstring, bro. I think it's that. But he does have games like this occasionally. Not maybe not quite like this, but
when the Pacers are running up and down the floor,
yeah.
And this is why you need all the rest you can for that hamstring.
Mm-hmm.
Stop
not
playing
just him. Brunson's ankle, cat stomp, like everything. So,
all right, so I'm gonna look at his game.
Not great. In terms of turnovers, each team only has 8, so there's not like a big swing in either direction there, which I think is fairly interesting. But Boston has just been way better from 2, and that's sort of been that's the ironic thing. Is like some people would say, oh, all they're doing is shooting threes, but they're shooting from 2. Just doing some quick math here, 13 of 24. That was better than 50% from 2.
Yeah.
The Knicks from 2. This is awful. They're 13 of 43 from 2.
That's not gonna get it done.
From 2. Okay, that's like that's high 20s, I think.
Knicks have also put themselves just in a tough position.
That's 30%
with their all-stars both being in foul trouble here.
Close.
That's the other thing too. But they've gotten no help. This is going to be Bridges is going to have to be huge on both ends in this quarter. You're going to have to start this quarter with Mitch, who's had a good game. Mitch is what, 8 and 12? 2 steals? Yeah, 8, 12, 2 steals.
Ryan says, I know they won games 1 and 2 being down 20, but this feels worse. Boston's hitting everything. And the process and Luke Cornett being the rim protector that he's been, like the adjustments to stick with him over Porzingis has been game changing for them. And then Asher says, they think that, and they being the Knicks in this context, they think they could coast without Tatum. It feels like it's definitely not working. Indy will wear them out even more. And that's sort of the like.
Sometimes it gets in your head that when a star player's out, you don't have to give us the same effort. But
and I thought out there with 5 fouls.
And Towns to start.
I would go at Brunson right away if I'm Boston. You kidding me? Top of the key as they
double big lineup though.
So Tibbs is just like, whatever. We're just throwing it all out there.
I don't mind it, but you got to
with a 3-1 lead.
I trust Brunson with 5. I trust Brunson to play with 5. It's more than I trust Cat.
With the 3-1 lead, I don't hate it. It's like, look, if they foul out, whatever, see you game 6. But I'm going with my guys, so to speak.
Oh, you got to go up there.
I agree. Knicks down 18.
I think we'll know how this game ends once we get to the 8-minute mark, like what the score is. The Knicks have 3 minutes to kind of.
I think even like 6-ish.
I'll give him a little more time. I'll give him 7-6.
If it's still like 12, if it's 12 with
why would you make that pass? When's Mr. Robinson gonna do it there?
And that's why.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I don't see it. This is 20 though. This is when the game really starts.
No man to beat.
That could have been a charge very easily. Derek White, you have to know if there's 5 fouls there. You have to know, just try to take the charge at that point.
But he's pedaling backward. That's tough.
Yeah.
What the Knicks couldn't have is them come out back-to-back buckets from Horford, and now they're down 20, where their stars have 5 fouls each. Like, I don't know what Mikal Bridges was thinking that play before. I mean, no offense, you do pick Brunson rolls. Brunson rolls. Robinson rolls. There's only one place you can go. If you don't lob it up to him, bounce passing and ask him to catch the ball and then do something is It's a better chance the three of us do something with that in the paint.
Celtics win this game. First take leads the show tomorrow with. Are the Celtics actually better without Jason Tatum?
Or are the Knicks in trouble? Which is going to be. I think that's more of a fair talking point.
I feel like both are going to be talking points.
Yeah,
they're both going to be headlines.
Ty gave you the A block. I gave you the B block.
He did, and it's like people are going to get so enraged by both of those questions. Like, oh no, it's like, yeah.
Oh, what?
That's miscommunication.
What are you doing, Kat?
That's miscommunication. He thought they were switching, or he thought they were switching.
There's no way the Knicks should be down 22 to this version of the Celtics. Sorry,
you would think, but
we had them in the finals.
If you're letting them shoot open threes and making them, like you kind of get what you pay for, you know. Oh.
Tough long two.
Yeah, that 2000.
This doesn't feel like the games 1 and 2.
2003 shot.
That's what Ryan was saying.
No, they're playing like the Celtics were when they were rattled.
Oh, that's all Fowler. Really? Oh,
Mitch hit it away.
Good hands by Mitch.
That building on Friday night is going to be nervous.
He just gave him the.
If they don't come out with the right energy on Friday night, it will get nervous real quick. I've seen that many a time in the Game 6 with the Knicks, back when they were really good in playing games this late into the spring.
Good block.
Good defense by Cat.
Could have been 5.
Good recovery.
Defense. Ooh, you got to give him a better pass.
Yeah.
The crowd
hates
that
a foul
call.
Or no?
Horford.
I understand.
He has 4.
He's not. Is it really a foul?
It looked like he fell. Let's see Cat here.
Good block.
Good defense. Look at Cat.
He just
falls. He just fell. Yes, that's not
wow.
That's not a foul.
Come on, bro. Yeah.
They're gonna win that challenge.
They should win that challenge. Ryan says all caps embarrassing. I hear you, Ryan.
I agree, bro. I mean, you got to beat the Celtics in a closeout game without Tatum, and you got to. If you lose, you can't lose. Get like this.
Yeah,
without Tatum.
But remember, I told you. I said before. I was like, I feel like whoever wins is gonna win by 20. Like because this is the emotional. Tatum's out spot. They bomb a bunch of threes. And the Knicks just sort of let it slip, you know?
Yeah.
I had a friend who just texted me, turn the TV off.
It's not a – listen.
Kendrick?
Word to Kendrick.
How was the show at MetLife, by the way?
That was dope, man.
Oh, you went?
Yeah, I was
when
there.
Night did you go?
Friday night. I was there for the second show.
I heard he was on there for 3 hours.
Yeah, it was a long show. I mean, it's broken up between him and SZA. I could have done with less SZA.
I heard.
I love SZA.
I mean, I don't dislike SZA.
I was a little surprised by that. I ain't gonna host.
I'm not saying I dislike SZA.
We ain't gonna have no SZA slander on this show
tonight.
It's not slander.
I
know this is y'all show.
I'm just saying I could have had a little less SZA. SZA was dope though.
Yeah, how that 30 for 30 was ringing off out there.
Dope. That's one of the songs that they performed early when they came out together, and then they closed the show late with a bunch of songs together. They did All the Stars and 30 for 30 early.
I heard All the Stars was crazy.
Was good.
I heard Joe Budden and them's review.
They closed the show with Gloria, which was dope.
Yeah,
which is fantastic.
They did Luther, of course.
They did Luther. That was one of the last songs. That was right before Gloria.
I think they did Not Like Us right before that. Apparently.
Yeah, Not Like Us.
So the show was 3 hours for real.
Let's see. It started at
a lot of people.
So it started at 7. You had the muster set, which was real quick.
Apparently 8:15 he was on stage, like on the dot.
Yeah, they were on time with everything.
Joe Budden and them gave him a good review.
Yeah,
it was a good show. Like
Joe left early because, like, you know.
Well, that was smart. You want to beat that traffic.
That's why.
That's not. I wish I had done.
He was like, I wanted to hear Euphoria, and I was good.
So,
admittedly, Euphoria.
That was
from watching the pop out and even the Super Bowl.
Honestly,
Euphoria live
was crazy.
So Not Like Us. Yeah. Was it done similar to how he did at the Super Bowl? Because I love how he performed it.
It wasn't quite like that, like how he did it, because he came up from the back, and the way they had like the stage and the platform, he kind of went around just different and did it. But it was really well done. Like he had some dancers behind him. Sort of, that was a little bit like the Super Bowl. It was really well. It was a really good show. That's my 4th time seeing Kendrick. Yeah, it was my 4th time seeing Kendrick. It was a really good show.
Something I heard that was funny. He was like, "Yo, I took out my phone to record, but like there were times where I couldn't find him on the stage."
Yeah, because there was a lot of movement. Like I was on the floor. So it's pretty good. But that even happened to me a couple of
flexing.
times.
I was on the floor, baby. I got money, you heard?
I'm just saying.
I got bread out here.
Shout out to my boy Anthony. Secured the tickets early. You know what I'm saying? We was out there. We were on the floor.
Okay.
You know who I ran into?
Doug.
Friend of you know.
Doug.
I ran into Doug. I ran into Doug when I was on my way into the show.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Doug there.
Huge Nets and Liberty fan.
Nets and Liberty fan, and big fan of a lot of stuff I do.
Brunson rolled his ankle on that play. That's great.
That's why he fell. Brunson's fell a couple times like that
because he slightly trips on Horford's foot.
So is the trip the foul?
So it has to be because nothing else was.
Yeah. Damn, people call me a baller because I had floor seats I have floor seats. Come on, man.
Making it rain out here.
You know,
come on.
The show wasn't at SOBs or Sony Hall. That shit was at MetLife.
Look,
you know,
man, I'm just saying I'm gonna put this out here. When you get older, you know what I'm saying, you're not trying to sit up in the stands like that.
Trying to be comfortable.
You're trying to be a little comfortable. I ran into a friend Ryan Baskins from St. Francis.
Oh,
yo, what's crazy is Ryan was like caught my eye. She walked past me.
How's Ryan?
She's good. And I tapped her, and I was like, and she said, "Of course you're here." We've been at 2 concerts before we run into each other. So
shout out to Ryan, yo.
It was a dope show, though. SZA did her thing, Kendrick did his thing. It was really well produced. Dope show.
Oh boy,
now that's the better pass. Knock that down, Mikal.
You gotta hit
cross.
This. You gotta hit.
Got
this.
him.
That's the right shot.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was the right shot. I feel like they'll come out better from this timeout, but they're running out of time.
They need a lot. When
like
you got 20 with
the run has to come within the next few minutes now
because it's 20. To go right.
Yeah.
Ooh, good defense.
Well, that's how you start.
That 2 big lineup.
Attack and 1.
Yeah, that's a foul.
Here's where they start.
Drew's been more vocal since he got that title, yo.
See, Astra gets it in here. She said, the older you get, the more you're willing to spend for comfort/convenience. Absolutely right.
So 3 hours of entertainment.
I feel like that's a point of comment. I feel like that's a point of comment.
I was absolutely entertained the whole time.
I love
It's good. I'm trying to think of the last time I went to a concert and I came out and was like, man, that was whack. I don't feel like I go to see anybody's. I got to really think about that. Like most concerts I went to have been really good and well worth the money. I haven't been to a concert. I guess the last concert I went to before that was Beyonce 2 years ago for the Renaissance tour, and that was fantastic.
Man.
At MetLife too, that was fantastic.
I gotta step my game up, man. This dude's out here running laps around.
I go to I do like one a year. I've done like one good one a year the last couple of years. I don't know who else I'd go see this year.
The last concert I went to was it was a Mark Anthony concert I went to. Drake Migos.
Hello.
When they brought Cardi out, that was
that at the Garden?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a minute ago.
But here's the thing: don't feel bad about that. I don't think I went to. I think when my daughter was first born,
that was pretty sick.
That was pretty sick. I
told you about that. I told you about the 8-minute mark. We'll know what the outcome of this game is.
And we're 40 seconds.
4
away.
for 12 from 3. Jesus, I should have escalated. I should have did the escalator because I only took the over 2.5.
This feels like foul number 6.
He's a little too soft there.
He said it feels like foul number 6.
It did.
They're booing the shit out of him because
Brunson is out here flopping,
Knicks getting them into the penalty early.
You know why? It's because he flails a lot.
That's not good because then they're just gonna send Mitchell Robinson to the line.
You can't play him.
And then they're gonna dare him. Right. He flails a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of flopping. Yo, Knicks fans get so mad at me all the time.
You be saying this on the radio?
I say this on social media, on the radio. It's a testament to how great this dude is, where he doesn't need to play like that. It's so frustrating. I say the same thing about SGA, about Luka. There's a lot of flopping that goes down. Mm-hmm. And if you're honest about it, take your orange and blue colored glasses off. He flops a lot.
Some people call it flopping. Some people call it embellishing the call. You know what I'm saying? Foul baiting, whatever. It's all about how you package it. Gamesmanship, playing to the refs. It's all about how you package it, right?
You know what it is too?
But it's all flopping.
It's also the hair. It's a strategic move because
hair goes up.
You could flip it. See, this is why when you box, they tell you don't grow your hair out because if you get popped, it's gonna look bad for the judges because your hair is going back.
I like that. You know, that's good analysis.
You want to have like tight braids if you have long hair like that.
I was just gonna say it's a good defensive possession by the Knicks.
Damn.
Do you foul Robinson here?
Maybe to take them out of rhythm. Although they're not in like an amazing rhythm, but
Don't look like they're going to do it.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I would wait. Because if they get a couple shots, you want to take them out of their rhythm and do it. Damn, Mitch was wide open that time. He pieced that. Derek
the
White.
pitcher got a piece of it.
Yo,
Derek White got a piece of it.
Yeah, he reached over. Guarded without fouling. Uh-oh.
I don't trust it. I told you, I don't trust the lift.
Uh-oh. Oh, good pass. Yeah, this one's over.
Yeah.
This one's over.
So you've been down double digits in 5 straight games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't keep playing around. You can't keep playing with fire. And you play with fire against a team that was going to be emotionally charged up for this game. They said they won't do this for JT. You know what I mean? They came out here trying to do this for JT. And, the Knicks, I guarantee you they're going to be Brunson is going to be pissed about this, not going to like this at all whatsoever.
And if they come out on a big run next game, I wouldn't discount them for next game. We posted on our socials us going crazy when Mitchell Robinson kept making all the free throws. Yo, I could not believe it.
I can't believe he's still perfect from the line.
Oh, that's so funny.
Man, Ty, it's not looking good for you, man.
Someone responded to one of the clips of me reacting to the scuffle saying, how'd that work out for you? Like,
it worked out fine. I'm still sitting here and watching the game. How did it work out for you?
Dude, what do you think? You think that I'm like pulling for Josh Hart in a fight with Jalen Brown?
He just said he enjoyed the fight.
I enjoy fighting.
We want to see some playoff intensity, some energy.
And if the Knicks lose, why does that affect if we enjoyed the fact that there was an semi-altercation?
I didn't realize it until you brought it up. We have not gotten that at all, no chippiness at all in the series.
Right, and I was happy to see it. I think basketball is better. I'm not saying when there's fighting, even though why can't we have fighting? Y'all let the hockey players fight. They ain't never gonna let the black people fight. That's never gonna happen. Come on. I mean, like
that's ghetto.
Yeah, and you know what?
When the hockey players do it, it's passion. When the NBA players is ratchet and ghetto and thuggery.
Thuggery. The word thuggery come out. But except the hockey, and there's no hate to hockey. They'll be out there being like, you gotta have a goon on your team. It's all good. They have dudes out there that just are out there to mess people up, and I'm here for it.
Basketball should have one too. I think.
I agree.
Listen, Indy got one.
Here's what you're saying, people. Well, it's part of the hockey culture. I'm not saying all you hockey fans sound like that, but you kind of do. It's part of the hockey culture, and this was going to happen.
By the way,
I feel like you can have some physicality in it.
I like fighting in hockey.
You like fighting everywhere.
He's
a combat sports guy.
Because here's the thing: under the right circumstances, I'm not saying like, yo, as soon as the game starts. Although that happens in hockey sometimes too.
5 seconds,
they be dropping the glove. Let's go.
But what I'm saying is like, yo, all that pent up shit that people have in the name of competition. Like sometimes you just gotta let them get it out.
I don't disagree.
And that's it.
I don't disagree.
Like I think I don't like when like we act like, you know, we hold our purses when it comes to it. Like, yo, sometimes like some things.
We're just being honest.
And people, and ultimately people generally don't throw punches. If we have another Kermit Washington situation, that's one thing. But if it's like what we saw there where guys just talking to each other, that's fine.
Real talk though, all jokes aside, I'm not in support of fighting. First of all, from a visual experience standpoint, it's not the type of message just tens of $billions the league wants to send. More importantly though, it's dangerous to the players. Like, could you imagine?
By fighting, I don't mean like you get two NBA players and like you square them up and like someone's in a southpaw stance or whatever.
So what we talking about?
Like the kerfuffle that we saw earlier.
That's cool. That's what we like.
That's fine.
I'm saying real fighting. Like, come on, you want Brunson going down for the season?
But what I'm
saying, hockey, they have gear. They have like helmets and stuff. Like,
but it's still more dangerous. They got blades on their feet and they're on ice, and we're acting like this is fine.
No. But what I'm saying is like basketball players, they don't really have. There's like nothing there.
I understand that.
If
I'm just saying,
Ron Artest catch you with one hook, your season's over, baby.
I'm just saying.
Don't throw a drink on an NBA player.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, come on.
In hockey, they're on blades.
Do you think they should get rid of fighting in hockey?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They should, because I I don't like the culture around it. That let's just be real about it. That when it's one sport that looks one way, they're fine with the people fighting. Everybody's just part of the culture. But when it's another way in the NBA, the players get painted as to being bad when there's fighting. Oh, back in the 80s, it was so bad and all this other stuff.
Would you rather have just no fighting anywhere, or have, because there's fighting in hockey, have fighting in the NBA as well?
I would like people to not clutch their pearls when there's a kerfuffle like that and act like it's so bad. But I'm kind of also with Tyriq on this, that
you don't want to.
You don't need a bad product that is going to hurt players in the court. Like, do we need the fighting? A little pushing and shoving the players out,
that's
like
cool.
each other. That's fine. Do we need the fighting? I
prefer that to everybody hugging up on each other.
I agree. I agree. But we got to also call out the.
Oh, is that 6? That's 6. That's 6 on Brunson. You saw Jalen Brown waving?
Oh, yeah. That's fine. He'll be waving that on Friday.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's the facts. Thing, too. He's going to know, and he's going to wave back at him. Whether it's 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I'm glad they should.
Don't let it go to 7.
Brunson's showing
I'm playing with fire if this goes to 7.
Brunson. Hey, you know what people are going to say? Brunson got hit in the groin and nothing happened.
Oh, but Jalen Brown gave him the little elbow in the back. But Brunson's ultimately, he's in a, like, you're in a spot where you're going to get called for the foul.
That's fine. Brunson rest for Friday. That's cool.
33 minutes, 22 points.
22 points. All I'm saying
is going to be fun.
All I'm saying is we need a bigger conversation.
They're going to review it.
About the hypocrisy around fighting in sports. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all. That's my only point.
Review it.
We'll see, bro. I think he was turning. I think
more you NBA players and more you athletes in general need to, like, hit the heavy bag every once in a while. Get that shit out.
He wants fights.
No, I'm saying if you hit a bag, you're like getting out the man. You got take classes of the shit. That's all I'm saying. You put the phone down for like 45 minutes to an hour. You go 8-10 rounds. That shit is therapeutic, man. I'm telling you. More people should do it. I think more people should do it. Also, it helps. Like, you learn how to defend yourself effectively instead of just throwing punches. Anyway, we have a bunch of people checking in. Emma Kate says, "Why the hockey slander?" in all caps.
Oh, come on, EK. you know I love you. And EK, here's the thing. You know that I'm not wrong. You love hockey.
I mean, she doesn't agree.
Would you say no? She just say no hockey slander. She knows I'm not saying hockey.
Emma Kate knows where to find you.
She does know where to find me. She does know where to find me. EK knows I'm not wrong. I'm just saying, we know what the people in hockey look like, and they let the fighting go on, and nobody has any problems with it, and they're never called thugs, and none of this happens. When the players are a little darker, I'm just saying, tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where it is in the facts.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Optically, it's not the best.
I'm not mad at the hockey players fighting. I'm actually not mad at it. I just feel like, don't get me started on baseball and the Fugazi fights.
Oh my God.
And the fact that people can bean people with the ball.
Oh, I hate that.
I don't like that.
I'd say, you know what have I told you?
Baseball culture is actually worse.
What have I told you all the time?
Well, American baseball culture, I should clarify.
So Brunson gets called for the 6th foul.
By the way, can I just interject real quick? Tibb should pull all his starters.
Well, it's Tom Thibodeau, though.
Got to pull your starters in.
I agree. He should pull his starters.
It's funny. I just saw a tweet about Hitler. Somebody said, like, yo, this is the 4th straight time. Not the 4th straight elimination game, but the 4th straight time they get a closeout opportunity and then they blow it on the first chance. Something like that.
So they did it against the Pistons. Last year they did it against the Pacers.
And Philly, were they up 3-1?
They were up 3-1, and Maxey had
good one.
Another block.
That's true.
Trying to sell a shot to the face.
Yeah. What I was going to say about baseball, and my issue with baseball is that if I was Juan Soto, if I was Aaron Judge, if I was somebody who was like Ohtani, and I'm a crazy hitter, and you have the audacity to beat me, I'm coming out to the mound with the bat. You shouldn't be allowed to throw a projectile at me that fast.
Just because you're upset that I pimped a home run, you now take this hard object at 100 miles per hour and beam it at my head.
But if I come out with the bat, I'm wrong?
Yeah,
I'm surprised more people haven't come out with the bat. If you're going to throw this weapon at me, And you're mad if you're mad because I styled on you after pitch better.
Yeah.
How soft are you to be so mad to them being somebody? And nobody in baseball is like, yo, that's corny.
Pull the
all right.
starters,
Okay. If Luke Cornett is doing reverse alleys,
Luke Cornett is 3 blocks away from a triple double and 1 rebound away from a triple double.
I promise you, 7 blocks.
I promise you that would have been plus 100,000. Look at Cat.
Oh wait, what do we got on the parlay for Cat? I think I had him for 15 points.
What does he have? He has to have that, no?
No, maybe not. He might have 13.
He's 14.
Oh, come on.
Ryan said, why does this team not know to close out series early? Same thing as 76ers series last year and the Pace series when they're up 3-2.
McKay threatened you. We will settle this later. And then in all caps, Dexter.
Yo,
so not Dex.
Yo, McKay almost never hits me up or texts me and calls me Dexter. When somebody calls me Dexter,
you think you did some shit?
I feel like I'm in trouble.
Over.
Yeah.
He got. Wait.
McKay, am I in trouble here? We'll set this later. Dexter, all caps.
All right, now we need your Bridges over 4.5 rebounds. He's got 2. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
I don't think it's happening. They ain't missing.
I should have done the escalator. And I said it too. I was like, someone's gonna win by 20 tonight.
You'll be okay.
All right, can I ask you? You're the Knicks guy here, right? Are you a Knicks fan too? He's the Knicks guy. How concerned are you heading into Game 6? Let me dress it up a little bit.
Yeah,
you've been down double digits in all 5 games. In 3 of them, you've been down 20.
Oh,
good
with charge.
How concerned are you heading into Game 6?
On a scale of 1 to 10, is that what you're asking? On a scale of 1 to 10, how's current time? 5.
Okay, I thought you would say 5 or 6.
Yeah, I'm not terribly concerned.
They lose Game 6, you're in full blown panic.
Game 6, I'm at a 9.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Guess where I'm going to be on the night of Game 7?
Not Boston.
Here. I'm going to be in Boston.
Yeah.
Now, if it goes to Game 7, I'm going to visit my cousin. I have to decide.
Do you go to TD?
I might have a way to get in the building, but I don't want to be around no people. I wonder if we should go out and watch the game somewhere. I have no idea. But here's why I'm not that worried. I think that Jalen Brunson is going to have a big game at the Garden. I'm not really worried.
I might take his over. I ain't gonna hold you.
I think
coming off of a performance where he fouled out.
Yeah.
It's going to be 27 to 29.5.
I think it lights a fire under him. Look, I think the point that Ryan was making in the chat and saying that why they can't close, I think the Philly thing was one thing, and also a different team. But the Pacers, they were so banged up, so there was a lot more going on there.
How about the Pistons last round?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the Pistons and this, because I'm just looking at this team, this iteration of this team, that was more disappointing. Maybe the Pistons won at home. This was a tougher game in a row, but I still think no Tatum, you got to close this out, man. I'm not making any excuses. This is disappointing for the Knicks. This is no bones about it. It's a disappointment.
Where's Precious Achiuwa?
By the way, shout out to Jalen Brown, man. The moment called for it, he delivered.
And he didn't turn over the ball as much as I think. I apologize.
Damn near triple-double tonight.
What's happening?
Delay a game, I think.
This Tibbs got pulled the starters,
so
man.
Tibbs having his starters
what are we
down
doing?
4.5 minutes left, and a game in 48 hours.
What are you doing? That's why with Jalen Brunson foul, I'm like, maybe that's the best thing. He sits and gets some rest. Boy, did you see that face by Jalen Brunson? He's like, I'm gonna kill these dudes. I'm gonna kill these dudes.
That's that Cam Newton meme from.
Yeah.
He's
like, I'm gonna kill these guys on Friday.
Why are they still playing everybody?
You better hope no one.
You better hope no one smacks the shit out of Cat's thumb.
Because this was the Randall injury.
Pull the starters. What are we doing?
This is why round 3 Tibbs.
And I'm not team's minutes police, but this is just stupid. It's just stupid. What are we doing?
Randall got hurt in a situation similar to this.
Wow, I also think Boston should pull theirs. I mean, we should start to see like Precious, Baylor Shireman, Hawk Purdy.
Damn, he come bang that.
Yo, what's wrong with him? This is the second straight game where he's got dunks that he can't get up for.
That was a good move too.
What a game for you, Cornette.
Yo,
the Luke Cornette game.
Shout out to him for turning what could have been like an overseas dude easily like into a legit career.
Damn, OG 1 of 11.
He could have legit been in Barcelona right now.
OG's got to be better on the offensive end. He's got to be much better next game. Like, he's had a good game 1, good game 4, terrible games 2, 3, and 5.
And
some really poor shooting. Cat couldn't even hold on to that rebound. Get him out the game.
You have him on the floor too.
What do we do? Like? This is where Tibbs doesn't do himself any favors. Who's coached a really good series, so I don't want to sound like I'm slamming on Tibbs.
What if it's 3D chess and he's keeping them in because the Celtics have their starters in, but Brunson's going to be rested?
Man, no, none of that makes any sense. It's not 3D chess.
No, I know. I'm just
it's called stupidity.
Oh, there's a cut.
That's the stuff I was most impressed with Boston. Like around
the ball
rim,
movement, the cutting,
the ball movement, and the stuff around the rim.
Should have done the escalator with him too. Sheesh. 11
for who?
Jalen Brown. 12 assists.
Was that Josh Hart again?
It was.
Jalen Brown has 12 assists.
No, he's gonna have 12 assists coming up. Your stats might be a little ahead. He's gonna assist on this basket. I think the Celtics. I think you saw a little ahead.
Oh, there it is.
There you go. We saw the future, people.
So this is but now if I'm Boston, I'm like, bro,
save some of these threes.
This is where, like, so I'm a Mets fan, and this is where, like, if they have games where it's like it's 8-1 in the 8th inning and then it goes to 14, and I'm like, yo, bro,
save some of these runs.
Because then you're like, it's 1-1. What's happening here? Then it's like one run the entire next game.
Good foul to get everybody in.
But why was this not done 6 minutes ago?
I can't wait to see how the line moves, because the Knicks were underdogs for this game again. They obviously are not going to cover. It went from -3 for Boston to -5. We're going to know as soon as the game is done what the line drops at. And believe me, I will report it here. But I want to see. I just want to see how it moves. I don't know what I'm going to do. I felt like this game was the game for Boston to get. But I also
they had to get it.
Yeah, but I also think, like, could they do it twice in a row? I don't know. They shoot well enough to where it's possible. And with the Knicks, you leaving the door open is dangerous, because this is generally with Tatum, but they're really good on the road, and the Knicks haven't been great at home in the playoffs.
By the way, the Celtics, how about this for a stat? 10-2 now on the season without Tatum.
That's interesting.
Now, most of those games were against bad teams.
Probably.
One last round against the Magic where he missed because of his wrist.
Mm-hmm.
And now this game. So
and the Magic,
10-2 without Tatum.
The Magic defends. We talked about this last time. The Magic defend Boston better than anyone else in the league.
So they hit 21 of 46 from 3. Missed 9 free throws, and they still put up a $120.
Yeah, and Knicks lost on the glass. The Knicks shot terribly from 2.
38% from 3. So bad in the fourth quarter from 3 as well, but 38%, you could win. That's a winnable 3-point percentage.
I mean, 12 blocks for the Celtics.
But the Knicks didn't shoot. Wow. The Knicks shot so badly, not well enough. They played not good basketball. As simple as that. They didn't make shots. The defense wasn't good enough against the 3-point line. This isn't.
Landry Shamet.
This is why he don't play no more, yo.
Yeah, two misses. But shout out to the rookies, Pacome Dadier, Tyler Kolek, getting some playoff burn here in garbage time. And for somebody earlier was asking for pressure,
Torrey Craig.
You got him.
I was gonna say, I like Torrey Craig. Kata, yo, not for nothing. Kata's one of these dudes. Like, he could play in other rotations, but this team is deep enough to where he just doesn't. Good fantasy streamer at times.
Dadier.
He was a first-round pick? Late first-round pick?
Yeah. 26.
Yeah, so he's on a manageable contract for a while. I think he'll get minutes next year.
Yeah, I do.
He might have to.
And I like him to get minutes next year because I like his game.
Baylor Shireman is probably going to be the Sam Hauser replacement next year. Or they'll try to make him one.
Wow. That
looks the part.
Oh,
wow.
My goodness.
That's the type of night
it's
the Celtics had.
Oh, my God.
that JD Davidson?
That's the type of night Boston had.
Knicks got to crack 100. This is, by the way, way over the total. Total was 207, 208.
Oh, was it 208 and a half?
Yeah, it was in that range.
I could see why a lot of people might have went with the under here, the way the series has played out. But
I thought today was going to be, there were going to be points. There were going to be points because, you know, I felt like someone was going to be hot shooting.
Yeah, I've got to take.
What's this?
If Tatum were healthy, the Celtics would come back and win this series.
I mean,
I disagree. I still think if Tatum were healthy, they still would have won this game. I think they still would beat them in the Garden, Game 6.
But my problem with the Knicks is that they haven't been good at the Garden in the playoffs. They lost games 2 and 5 against Detroit.
They lost
game 3. They got blown out. They were losing game 4.
Pressure's on you now. Boston's like, we got our ring and our stars out. I mean,
the pressure's definitely on the Knicks.
Like we'll try
to Bryan
win,
Lewis about this, who's going to join us in a little bit. We'll talk to him about the pressures on the Knicks to do this. I mean, I don't think your take is crazy.
I just think the Garden, that nervous energy at the Garden Friday night.
The crowd.
This series goes to 7.
Yes,
that's lining up for a random.
You're gonna be at the Garden. You're gonna be at the Garden, right?
I can't because I can't. I
was gonna tell you. I was gonna be like, "Yo, text me if the energy is nervous in there."
I think the energy on the start is gonna be phenomenal.
But like I said, if it goes wrong,
but if it's 12-4 Boston, Tibbs calls a timeout.
We're gonna have you put this on as the Knicks lose now. It's over. They're going to be playing a Game 6. We knew this minutes ago, maybe 20 minutes ago. Although Tom Thibodeau would not pull the starters. So we didn't do this. We're going to have Bryan Lewis join us for post-game in a little bit. He'll join us. We'll talk about it. Tyriq Butler here with us from ESPN Radio and Bleacher Report. For those watching the chat, I know you guys are ready for the post-game. I understand some of you are going to be angry. I know that's going to happen.
I think some people might be chilling. They'd be like, see him at the Garden.
I wonder how many Knicks fans are actually angry about this.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think more Knicks fans might be like, hey, they got their game. And that's where it gets dangerous because it's like, listen, if you open up that door, Tatum or not, like, and this is the thing about this team, like they're a machine. So even taking out Tatum, it's not like removing Brunson from the Knicks. You know what I mean? Like, you take out Brunson, then that changes a lot.
Clip this behind you.
Yeah. So I think ultimately, when it comes down to it, you know, this wasn't terribly surprising, but you do open up that door now. So
I think the disappointing part about this is we saw it last night with Cleveland, where they came out and played well, and then the Pacers decided we're better than you, and it's a closeout game, so it's time to get you up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And the Knicks never had that answer.
Yeah, and I think you want to see that, right, from the Knicks. It's disappointing. You'd have liked them to have a little bit more rest, for the series, coming up that you guys say is going to happen. I didn't say that. Y'all said it was over. It was a wrap. They're going to do all the stuff. Look, I think you can say it's disappointing because they haven't played well at home, as you mentioned. Throughout the playoffs, they've been what? What's the record at home? They're 3-2 at home in the playoffs.
No, it should be a losing record.
2 and 3.
They got 3 losses at home
and 3 wins.
Yeah, right. So
no, isn't it only 2
wins?
It's only
right.
2
wins, 2 and 3.
So
because 1 and 2 against Detroit.
Yep.
And 1-1 this series. Yeah, 2 and 3.
Yeah, it's good. We got Barbershop Sports Talk podcast. I was actually on with them last night on their show. Shout out to the guys there. What up, fam? Not a good night. It's Friday night at MSG or else. Yeah. Or else.
Well said.
Starters need to be pulled early in the fourth, in my opinion. We were saying this here.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming on the pod. Dope stuff from you. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for that. Check out the guys at Barbershop Sports Talk podcast.
The hell was that?
What was what?
You're down 24 points.
I thought something I said.
With 6 minutes left in the game. And you've got your starter still in. It's still in. Just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and somebody will, hopefully maybe some guy Stephen Bondi, somebody else. Somebody's going to ask Tibbs about that. I think it made no sense. We said it was over. I think it was a 7-minute mark. Over, so like, yo, it's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Pull the starters.
You got a game in 48 hours.
I agree with you.
You got a team that has players that are prone to injury. Take them out the game. Reset, regroup. We'll be fine. Head back to the Garden.
I don't think anyone would have been mad if Brunson gets fouled out and then Tibbs is like, you know what? Fine. And then everyone's out. I think people would have been like,
I think that's when it was for me. That's when I was like, yeah, it's a wrap here.
Yeah.
Time to think about game 6. I don't think anybody would have been mad about that, but you're flirting with danger. I'm not. Injuries can happen any time in the game. It's not like they happen more late.
Cat got hit hard a couple times at the end. He was on the
worth
floor.
it.
I keep
rolling
harping
around.
on OG's hamstring because I think that's a big deal.
He was still out there.
Listen, here's the take tomorrow. I'll give you guys a preview. All these
Preview
shows,
of the take.
all the shows are going to be doing this tomorrow. A lot of shows will be doing this.
Okay.
Winner of Game 6 wins the series.
Yeah.
But
I mean, could you just?
Well, I mean, that's going to be
obviously for the Knicks. But I feel like
I get the point.
I get the point with that.
Because
You can't
people
get
are
the
going to
Celtics
say,
life.
yeah,
if the Celtics win Game 6, people are picking them in Game 7 to beat the Knicks.
I mean, you're right.
Because that's the random. I said this before. That's the random Sam Hauser 8 threes game. Like we've seen Buddy Hield during the playoffs this year, right? Had that in a Game 7. So
we've seen Julius Randle have good playoff games. You know, like
I don't think that's a crazy take either. Like
Torrey Craig, here's 5 threes from Torrey Craig.
You can't give a team. You gave them life right now, but I think what's important, the kind of win the Knicks need is they need to. This needs to be murder. Okay. It has
First degree or second degree?
Jesus Christ.
No, we're going with first degree.
Premeditated.
Premeditated. You better be planning this for the next 48 hours. You're going in. You are trying to destroy this team on Friday night. This is what it's got to be. But everybody, thank you for checking in with us on the post-game recap for the Knicks as they lost Game 5, 127-102 at the TD Garden in Boston. Jalen Brunson fouls out of this one. The Knicks still lead the series 3-2. So going to a Game 6 back at Madison Square Garden on Friday night. And now joining myself, Bryan Fonseca, and Ty Butler is the great. We haven't seen him in a couple of games, but happy that he's back with us. Our guy, Bryan Lewis, sports reporter here for the New York Post, joining us here. Bryan, how are you doing, sir?
All right. I just dropped in the chat. First thing I hear about is 187. We were talking about murder.
Hey, man, you know what? You dropped the numbers out here. You know what I'm saying? You dropped the 187 numbers out here. I'm just saying you have to come out and take care of this team on Saturday night. This is what you got to do. You got to come out and take care of the team. You can't have any problems with them. What did you make of what you saw from the Knicks tonight? Because it was a disappointing effort. I think a lot of fans would have liked to have seen them, close this out. But what did you make of what you saw from the Knickerbockers tonight?
I mean, beyond disappointing, man. I mean, you don't have to face Tatum, right? Celtics without their best player, and I get it. They're at home. I get it. They have played very well without him this season when they've had to. And then you let Derek White and Luke Cornett beat you. Or maybe I should reverse that order. Luke Cornett and Derek White. White raining threes. And you talk about coming out and kind of putting your foot on the Celtics next game. I mean, you wanted to do that this game, right? And White coming out raining threes early when you wanted to come out quick and take their heart. And then Cornett out here looking like Mutombo or something. Didn't play.
That's what I said during the game.
Yeah, 7 blocks, third most ever off the bench, I think, in a playoff game. I think most by anybody in a playoff game since 2021. That was a disappointing performance, beyond disappointing, I would say.
Yeah, no, I think you have every right to be disappointed by it if you're a Knick fan here. One of the things we talked about here in the studio, Bryan, was that if you're the Knicks going back to this, and Ty, who's been in the Garden, you were in the Garden for games 3 and 4, said that if the Knicks don't get off to a good start on Friday, it's going to be some nervous energy. And you've been in many buildings, you've been in many playoff games, you've covered them like me, Bryan. How imperative is it just to jump ahead to Game 6 that the Knicks put this behind them and get out to a quick start, and then maybe we see a little bit of the 187 on the court here on Friday night?
Yeah, no, I would agree. I mean, if you don't get now, listen. Obviously, they've shown the capacity to come back against this Boston team multiple times, but there's not any shred of doubt that if they get off to a slow start, the energy is going to be whatever, nervous, anxious, angry, whatever in that building. It's a great. It's a really good home court advantage. It is, but there are going to be a lot of really, really jittery fans. If the Knicks dig themselves another 10-point, 11-point hole early.
Before I open it up, I know the other guys here have questions too, but I'd be remiss if I don't talk about Karl-Anthony Towns here tonight, because 29 minutes, 4 fouls, in foul trouble most of this game, Bryan. I know he finished with 19 points, 8 rebounds, 8 of 9 from the free throw line, 5 of 11, only 11 attempts here. I know the numbers might look good, but it wasn't good. Let's be honest. It was not good. Why does Cat seem to not be able to take advantage against this team that is sending smaller defenders at him all the time? And is it just simple as the fact that he makes these stupid fouls and can't stay on the court?
Well, I mean, when you're taking yourself off the floor with silliness, it doesn't make things easier. And in the case of Cat, it should be a huge advantage, as you point out, the smaller defenders. But I mean, we've seen Karl-Anthony Towns fail to take advantage of small defenders. It's not like trying to put somebody small on Shaq. We've seen in the past where he's failed to take advantage of smaller defenders. But listen, it's not just him. I mean, where was OG? You see when Boston needed guys to step up, right? In the absence of Tatum, guys stepped up. But Jalen Brown, as good as he was, and he was really good and did everything for that team. I'm not going to say Brunson was bad, but I would say Jalen Brown outplayed him fine. That being said, it's not like the Knicks are devoid of talent or had guys that couldn't step up. What was OG? 1 for 12?
Yeah, so that's one. I think 1 for 11 last check. 1 for 12. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to win games shooting 35%, 34%, whatever they ended up at. You're not winning games that way. They're also not designed to win when they're not out rebounding somebody. I mean,
right.
They're not built to go and get out rebounded and think they're going to win games. They're just not. They are designed to be able to pummel people on the boards. That's what they're built for. And when you're letting a shorthanded team out rebound you, now granted, Boston's desperate. You knew they were going to be desperate. But you've got to play to your strengths, and that is not something that they did tonight.
It's not something they did tonight at all. Knicks losing this one, this game 5. Game 6 will be on Friday night at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks will look to close it out. Guys, any questions?
Yeah, Bryan, the Knicks shot 17 of 51 from 2. Just doing the quick math here, that's 33%. Like, what's your biggest takeaway from that? Like, I thought the Celtics played well defensively, but not well enough to the point where you're shooting 33% on 2s, and despite having a performance that ends up being 40% from 3, and some of that was helped out in garbage time, so really in the high 30s, like, you had some of the shots that you typically take and make like at your disposal, and you didn't convert them. And you also get 40 free throw attempts in this game if you're the Knicks and only hitting on 32. Like, there are some worrying signs from their offense today that can't carry over. But is there anything in particular that you think is going to be a sticking point in game 6?
Well, I mean, you touched on the free throws. I mean, listen, when they go hack a Mitch and he goes 6 for 6, it wasn't even him. This is the rest of these guys with free throws. I mean, so I'm not going to say that 80% is hard, but just do the math. You're talking 26 of 34 from the other guys. So yes, I mean that's worrying. Now, again, I don't know how much you got to when you're factoring in what they're doing from 2. You have to look at what they were in the paint and around the restricted area, and then you have to look at what Cornette did to them. it's not unrelated. He was a deterrent all by himself. So that's not an unrelated thing. They are going to have to move the ball a little better than they did. I'm all for driving, but you've got to move the ball. You've got to be able to force the Celtics to move defensively. And the Celtics are a damn fine defensive team, a damn good defensive team. And that was a very good defensive performance by them. And you let them do that to you. You got to be able to dictate and move the ball. And that's not something that you saw a lot of today.
I actually think the defense was like the biggest, wow for me tonight. So the Celtics scored 127, and they were awful from the free throw line. So, I mean, even if the Knicks get past this series, you've got an Indiana team that wants to run up and down and gun. Like the defense, where I see Cat and Brunson, they're miscommunicating on some of these screens. I feel like that stuff should already be figured out.
Yeah, well, I mean, Indiana's a whole different animal. Yes, you're right. That's a team, they run on, forget misses. They run on makes. That's going to be a whole different kind of, offensive animal that you're going to be dealing with. That's, again, presuming that they get there.
There you go. That's what I've been saying, Brian.
I'm
trying to tell these people not to put the cart before the horse. There you go.
Let's just worry about getting there. Then I'll start worrying about the match. Because I'm telling you, they come out in game 6 already thinking about game 1. That's going to be a problem.
This is what I've been saying, Brian. I've been trying to say this. With that being said, and this loss and everything we talked about, what do you think the mood is in this Knicks locker room right now with a leader like we know, like Jalen Brunson, with Tibbs, with the guys in this veteran team in this locker room? What do you think the mood is, and how serious do you think it will be that they do come out with the requisite energy in game 6?
My suspicion is that they will. That's a pretty emotionally resilient bunch, right? It won't be the first time that they've gotten smacked in the face and had a setback. I'm fairly confident that they'll come out with the proper energy, the kind of proper motivation. Now, they should probably, send Mazzulla an email and tell him to, send Porzingis to get well at her and hope he's back in the lineup. Because it's glaring how different Boston looked when he was in the lineup and when he was out. Shockingly so. But yeah, I'm not that worried about the Knicks coming out flat. It could happen. You never know. I wasn't in love with the way they started this game, but I am pretty confident that I think they'll get an early lift from the Garden. Now, it's requisite they have to do something with that. They're going to have to knock down shots, and it has to be somebody other than Brunson. And I would be willing to bet you Cat will probably get a few early posts because he does every game. He gets a couple early, and then you don't see him again.
Yeah, he also gets a couple fouls early. You don't see him.
Well, that's true.
That also happens.
That's true, but that's not rare. He's been doing that all season.
It's fair. It's fair.
I don't expect all of a sudden there to be some epiphany and him to change what he's done. We've seen it all year that he's a foul machine. So why would I expect it to start being more judicious with them now? Because he hasn't.
It's true. It's fair. I guess you're going to have the Knicks fans, and we're seeing them in the chat, that are good. This is panic mode. They didn't get it done tonight, Brian. They're up 3-1. You and I, or Brian here, we've talked a lot about how this series was big to evaluate the Knicks. It was big to evaluate Tom Thibodeau. I thought game 4 is an important game. We didn't talk to you before that, but I thought game 4 is an important game for this team in terms of the evaluation series. They answered the call. They did not answer the call tonight. How big do you view game 6 in terms how we perceive this team, and particularly Tom Thibodeau, because some people are saying, I see in the chat, Tom's coaching for his job if he blows this lead here 3-1. There's all the praise when he's up 2-0 and all the plays when he was up 3-1, and now it's 3-2. Are the stakes that high for Tom Thibodeau and this Knicks team here in this game 6? Because both these guys here said to me, who wins game 6 is going to win the series. Obviously, the Knicks will win the series, but if they lose the game, there's a game 7, but they think all the momentum will be to Boston. So what are the stakes that high for the Knicks and Tom Thibodeau in this one?
I would probably tend to agree that whoever wins game 6 wins the series. I think I would be not remiss. It's not the word I'm looking for. I think it's probably inappropriate for me to sit here and tell you what I think Thibodeau's fate is if he loses that game. I think, I am not plugged into that team and that front office, obviously, the way that Steph is. So I think that's probably, and I'm not trying to pass the buck. I just think I try not to speak on what I don't know. And I think that's probably a question best answered by Steph. But I completely understand how fans would look at it, or those on the outside in the national media might look at it and say, yeah, he'll be on the hot seat if he loses this. I certainly understand that. I just don't want to make any definitive statements about the thought process of Mr. Dolan when I don't know the thought process of Mr. Dolan.
No, that's fair. We don't know what the thought process is. I think either way, what we can say, I think we all would agree, is this is a damn big game for the Knicks. That part I will say. I think this is a big game for them. I think how you close is important. I think another thing that you said, Bryan, that's important is I felt this way before game 4. I have full faith that Jalen Brunson will show up. Full faith in that he'll show up. Who else is going to show up with him? We've seen a good OG Anunoby in games 1 and games 4. 2, 3, 5, not good at all. I also will say I think Josh Hart will show up. Confident about that too.
I was going to say, if you ask me in terms of toughness, and I don't wager, as you know, but I would bet on Josh Hart. I mean, he was cut open. He was looking like Creed out there, but he'll show up. I have no doubt about that. Now, is he going to hit shots? I don't know. But he'll show up. And I think Mikal will show up defensively. It's his jumper that comes and goes. I think Mikal will play solid defense because for the most part he has. But again, that's where we're coming back to the same thing. It's a make or miss league, and somebody other than Jalen Brunson is going to have to hit shots. Eventually, you're not going to beat a team that's that good defensively unless you make shots.
Besides making shots, Bryan, I think last thing for me before we wrap here, besides shot making, which obviously is what you need, you have to outscore the team to win the game. What do you think are the keys for game 6 for the Knicks to come out on top in game 6? What are your keys to the game, and how do they get a victory and move on to the conference finals?
Well, again, that probably depends largely on who's Boston's starting center. Is it Kornet or is it Porzingis? Because the way Porzingis is played, you can attack the rim if you really can. But I don't know. Missoula's got some tough decisions ahead. You've got a locked-in starter who's a $30 million man who is not right and is not playing well. Do you play him? If you play him, then the Knicks can attack him. As far as adjustments, though, I mean, tactically, I'm not sure that the tactics were so much the issue other than the lack of ball movement. But again, this is not a team that has moved the ball exceptionally well anyway, right? This is not the vintage Warriors, right? That's not how they play. but they are definitely going to have to crash. They can't beat that team getting out rebounded. I guess it's possible. I shouldn't say can't. Never say never, right? But they're not built to do it. So that's a team that's going to have to be physical. They're going to have to crash the offensive glass and beat them up and get second chance points, especially if jumpers are going to be that hard to come by.
Nah, all good keys here. Oh, I got one other thing. Was Tibbs tripping here by not taking the starters out with 6-7 minutes left after Brunson got fouled? I'm not the minutes police, Brian. You know where I am on this. I'm not down with the minutes police. But was he tripping leaving the starters in there that long?
Yes. But again, and we've discussed this before, like, you're going to do what you're going to do, right? Like when you say, if somebody asks me, oh, do I trust this person? Right? My response is, I trust them to do what their history shows they're going to do. Right? It's against Tibbs's DNA to pull guys. He just can't. I mean, he probably would start twitching if you asked him to start pulling the gun. Just can't do it. So I can't sit here and say I was shocked. Right? If you didn't know Tibbs, you didn't know anything about it. Like you just watched college basketball, right? You're not into the NBA. And if I took the biggest college fan and said, watch this game, he would probably have looked and said, what is this coach thinking? Who is that guy? Why is he leaving his starters in there? And then all the NBA fans in the room would turn to him and say, it's Tibbs. That's just him.
You're right. That's exactly how it would go. All right, we'll see what the Knicks can do in Game 6 on Friday. Brian, we thought the series was over. We thought we were all going to get a little bit of a break before the conference finals. These guys here had put the Knicks in the conference finals already, and I tried to tell them you got to take things one game at a time.
I felt like today they could lose though. To be fair,
you know what it is, Brian. We saw the Knicks up 3-1 against the Pistons lay an egg at home. So I felt like that experience was going to catapult them to not allow it to happen again. So I thought the Knicks, more mature, feeling like, all right, we got a chance to punch our ticket to the conference finals. They don't have their best player. I felt like they were going to come out and do what they were supposed to do tonight.
Well, maybe this is the lesson learned. Maybe that'll bear fruit in Game 6, right? Because I do agree with you. I mean, this team, they can't. I think there is going to be a lot of nervous energy in the building if they start slow. I'm not necessarily predicting that they will start slow. Hopefully, they'll come out with the right mindset and the right energy and the right physicality, and that won't be an issue.
Hopefully, we can hope, because if it's not, it's gonna be nervous. Nervous.
Right?
I already see from the fan base in the chat, it's nervous energy. People are talking about next season as if the season is over. I'm like, what is? I see you guys in the chat. What the hell is wrong with you? They still have a game to play to win to go to the conference finals, and people are talking about next season. Unbelievable, Brian. Unbelievable. What are you gonna do?
I mean, listen. I mean, Knicks fans shouldn't be talking about next season. I mean, leave that for like the Nets. All right, the Nets can be sitting there worried about next season. You just worry about Game 6. Don't worry about next season. Don't worry about Game 1 against Indiana. Don't worry about that. Just worry about closing out the Celtics.
I agree.
In Game 6. Don't even think about it. Just worry about Game 6, man. Just worry about what's in front of you.
I feel like that is good life advice right there. Hopefully the Knicks take the great wise words and the wisdom from Brian Lewis, our great sports reporter with the New York Post. Brian, we appreciate you, man. We will talk to you after Game 6. Hopefully it's a happy recap. Hopefully. We'll see.
We'll see.
All right. That is the great Brian Lewis of the New York Post Sports, doing a great job talking to us here about everything that's going on. We will take a couple questions from people in the chat before we bounce here. So we're going to put those up on the screen and see what we've got from people in the chat. See a lot of anger. A lot of anger in the chat.
More than I thought.
A lot of anger.
We scrolled too much. Wait, go back up. There was a lot that we went over.
A lot of anger in the chat.
This is why you love playoff basketball.
Oh,
The
yeah.
ebbs and flows of emotions. Knicks fans after what was that? Game 4.
No, they were
We're
high.
going to the finals.
Yeah.
Forget the Pacers. We're going to the finals. And now it's up. Off season.
This is why I was saying the things I said earlier, which is like I take it one game at a time. Even watching these games, I've watched too much postseason sports in these series.
They're killing Mikal.
I've watched this.
Wait, Mikal's getting dogged?
Because he disappeared today
Oh,
after
no.
the heroics. Look, people say you're only good as your last whatever it is. fill in the
Mikal
blank.
Bridges is actually a microcosm of playoff basketball. Because, like, you win a game, it's like, oh, we're never losing. Like, how do you beat this team?
Like you didn't just see the loss of the game before.
right.
Like you didn't just see this.
You lose, and it's like, man, Mikal Bridges, this fraud, 5 first.
We were talking about him asking for a max.
We were talking about that, and
We
I
did that during this show.
and I still don't go off of my position on that
Me
based
neither.
on what
He's
he's
gonna
done in the
ask-
playoffs.
No, I'm telling you, whether you think he wants one or not, the ask will be there.
You gotta
Yeah,
ask.
it's the agent's job to ask for as much as they think the
Right. The
client
team
can
has
get.
to responsibly pay him as they should.
Really
He
more than they think the client can
gets, whether
get.
he
Settle for
gets a
less.
max or not, he's getting extension.
Yeah, they're gonna
Right.
ask that.
And
Size 9
Yes.
has a bunch. We can't afford to start off injured again. Can't have it both ways. Either you're with Tibbs or you're not.
I don't agree with that. I think there's nuance to
You can have
everything,
you can
right?
have it both ways.
nuance is lacking these days.
Yeah,
Well,
you,
yeah.
you
It's
can
real
have it
soft.
both ways because it's like if I think I get what you're saying. Like there's people that were saying like, oh, Tibbs is not coaching for his job anymore, and now he is again or whatever. Like I kind of get that, but like the context of it matters. I still don't think Tibbs gets fired if they collapse, but like it's a conversation to be had if you do it to a team that just lost their best player because of an Achilles.
I agree. That's the context that matters in it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, there's also the most important context to it is the captain of the team, the best player, publicly is a big fan of Tom Thibodeau. You do not make wholesale changes to a
I
team
agree,
without
yes.
running it by your best
Brunson,
player.
Yes.
Brunson's not allowing that to happen.
I don't-
I never bought into the whole Tibbs could get fired thing because Jalen loves him. But you know, obviously that'll be something people talk about if they blow this through.
If they blow it
I had
up.
set up here. I thought it was something that could happen if they got swept. Like if every game was like game 3,
Yeah.
then I think that like that's the scenario where like now, even if you squander the lead, the fact that they built it might be enough. I don't know. But
I
also
think
like
it matters. What you did before matters. You can't just take all that out.
but
of it
let's
and
also see how they finish first.
Yes, I think that matters too.
Yeah.
I see Dev in the post said, Dex, y'all need a slightly longer post-game show. Well, we appreciate the fact that you want more time with us because not everybody wants time with people. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
we
that's
appreciate your time with you. That's love. So, Dev, I hear you. We'll see what we can do about extending some things as we if
now
we are
we're
going
saying
forward.
if okay.
No, because we can only go as forward as much as the Knicks go forward.
I mean, unless you want to start, doing watch-alongs for the rest of the playoffs.
I mean, no.
Listen,
It's called New York Got Game, not NBA Got Game.
Listen, Dex is already down in the dumps, man. I saw him looking at the Steelers' upcoming schedule.
No, I didn't. No, I
He's
didn't.
already like-
I swear I
He's
did it.
already
I swear
off
I
the
did it.
Knicks.
I swear I paid no attention to the NFL today. I know the NFL fans were excited about the schedules. All I know is the Steelers play the Jets week 1. Is that game at MetLife? Or in Pittsburgh?
It's in MetLife. Like, they're anticipating Aaron's going to be a Steeler. So it's
Are you
return
getting
to
Madden this
MetLife.
year? You
No,
getting
I've
Madden
not
this year?
bought Madden in years. But anyway, yeah.
Even if you get Aaron Rodgers, you're definitely not getting Madden this year.
What I don't want Aaron Rodgers part of Steelers. That's a whole other thing.
What else do we have in the comment section?
What else we got for some people? I saw a lot of back and forth between Size 9 and some other people.
Joe Blosif?
Joe Blosif. That great name.
Oh, man.
Fantastic name.
I don't know how I feel.
He's criticizing Cat. Said
Said
Cat
Cat
looked weak as usual. And there's some talk back and forth between who's better, Cat or Julius. Here.
Man. Well,
God, here's my. Do we have to go back to, like, for these fans that are
think people
obsessed with
will.
last year's
I
team?
think people will. And the reason is the Wolves may close this out tonight against the Warriors.
But what one team does has nothing to do with your team.
I think people would disagree.
How
with you.
how insecure are you that you're worried about what
I
another
agree with
team does?
you, but I'm telling you, you will get pushed back.
Who
on that.
cares?
I also think
cares
that
what the Wolves do?
it's a little bit of prisoner moment. When we saw Cat hit those shots against the Pistons in Game 4,
Oh, this is what we
No.
brought him here for.
no one was talking
Right.
about Julius
That's
Randle.
It's a joke.
By the way, shout out to Randle, man. He's exercised those
balling.
playoff demons.
Yeah, he's been balling.
But Cat,
Well, he did it against the Lakers and the Warriors. which are two amazing matchups for the Wolves.
Yeah, but
Now,
the Warriors.
you do it against the Thunder.
The Warriors had the number one defense since the Butler trade.
That's
I know
fine.
the size
That's
is an
but
issue.
the size is what matters.
I do think it's a good matchup for him. I do agree with
you. You do this against the. This is why I don't take the Wolves seriously yet. Do this against the Wolves or the Nuggets. Well, the Nuggets, they kind of have their number too. But do this against the Thunder, then okay, fine.
But that's unfair because, what if the Nuggets win?
The Lakers,
so it's like he plays well for 3 straight rounds, and we give him no credit because he didn't do it against Oklahoma City.
Well, here's the thing: the Lakers, and we're gonna get back to the Knicks in a second. The Lakers have no center, and the Warriors have no center. Like that's why I'm like, I need to see them. I need to see them in another.
But yeah, well, I kind of agree with Ty a little bit here, though. It's like you got to give him credit for playing well.
Yeah, that can
if
be
he shot badly,
like credit for playing well, but also like I'm not fully buying into the Wolves is my larger point.
Oh, that's fine.
And I'm not fully buying into Julius Randle's 16-game player yet.
Okay,
I'll wait till the.
But so far, so good. Man.
So far, he's been great in the playoffs. But
so far,
they got some good matchups. Anyway.
So far, so good. I understand. Listen, I'll get back to this. I wanted to get on Joe's point here. I understand the Cat critiques here. I understand the frustrations with Cat. You just talked about his highs in the Detroit series.
Yeah.
Right? And then we've seen lows. I think this was a series everybody's calling for. You needed to see more stuff out of Cat. Cat has not delivered in the series. Let's be clear.
I just think the Celtics are a tough matchup for him.
Sometimes people are tough matchups.
Even more tough for if KP had been playing.
Yep.
That's really what the disappointing part is.
I see. I like that nuance and context there because I think that's part of the disappointment. If KP had been playing as healthy, I think people would say, well, it's a tough matchup for him. You still want to see more. Here's the thing. Even if something's a tough matchup, you know what people want to see? They want to see you on the floor.
Yeah.
Right?
They want to see you earn your money.
What was the Derek White foul he picked up?
That was the third foul.
That's
and then the fourth foul was the one where he reached in on Brown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when he's trying to guard him on the perimeter.
I mean, look,
those are the things there's no excuse for it.
There's no excuse.
And ultimately in the NBA, like nowadays, for better or for worse, you're judged by your contract. And this is what people will be saying. It's like, listen, this is someone who's going to hit $60 million before the end of his deal if he takes that last year player option. And like that wasn't a small trade. So people are going to have the magnifying glass on him.
Here's my thing.
He's somebody who he's rebounded well in this series, but that's kind of it. He's had a couple of decent games, and his numbers will look palatable even today. But I
thought he had a good second half of Game 4. I thought he was really good in the second half of Game 4.
Yeah, and then we saw today there was just no impact there. Now, but it can ebb and flow game to game with Cat.
I will say
that's part of the experience.
I will say this, guys. Like I say this about any teams and players. People can judge you based on the last performance, and if you're down on Cat tonight, I understand.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're going to be judged by how you respond, like anything else in life. You're down. If Cat bounces back and has a great Game 6, all of y'all gonna be like, "See, this is why they made the trade. Thank you, Leon Rose." Blah blah blah. You're gonna say all that. So it does matter how he bounces back. We can get into all this stuff about him and how he didn't play good tonight, and it's all true. But he's got to bounce back in a major way. And we talked about the guys we trust. Brian Lewis just said it. Brunson, you trust that Josh Hart's going to show up.
And that's the problem. Brunson being as consistent as he is kind of hacks your brain into thinking the second star should be just as consistent and not giving you the production that Brunson gives you. But whatever you are, Cat, we should, just kind of bake that into the equation every single night. And the fact that, he's just always on the floor and complaining about officiating, and he's on the bench because he's in foul trouble. There's too much going on there. That stuff is just
Brian hates that
because it's also the way he shrugs. He's not here with it. He's up here. You know what I mean?
Going around, right?
I get it. Dev is in here said, but you don't think Tibbs will get fired if we become only the 14th team to blow 3-1 lead after they lose the top 5 MVP caliber player. Here's kind of what I'll say to this, okay?
The how matters, So.
I'm not sure. Doc Rivers still gets jobs.
Yeah. Doc Rivers won a championship.
Yes, this is fair.
And
also, a long time ago. And that's not me throwing shade to Doc Rivers, because I think Doc Rivers takes too much heat for the 3-1 leads than he should.
But what do we keep talking about, though, with, all right, if you're going to, and we don't want to have a full-blown fire Tibbs discussion, whatever, we could save that for after whenever this run ends or if they win the title. But
look at you. So look at the ifs now coming out. I see.
But I'm saying listen, you got to evolve with context. with new information.
Understood.
But-
I feel like that's
but
facts.
ultimately, to answer the question, it's like, look, the how matters, and if you're going to fire Tibbs, people who want to fire Tibbs, for who? Because that's the important thing here. It's like,
Malone.
is it Michael Malone? Is it Taylor Jenkins? Both of whom were kind of like, are we sure? Like that's sort of the answer, or is it going to be somebody that nobody knows? And are the Knicks going to do that? Are they going to hire like a Mark Daigneault who nobody knew before he got hired, and now everyone thinks he's one of the best coaches in the NBA, and he is a damn good coach.
Look,
just make Rick Brunson the head coach.
But
why you trolling, man?
That is an old school, and by old school I mean 2007 Knicks type of move. Even Phil Jackson probably would have did that.
I would say this, like to answer Deb's question, and we appreciate you, Deb, for checking it.
Yes,
I'm saying this to the Knicks fan base. You could be disappointed about tonight's loss. I am not telling you how to feel, but I find it interesting that some go all the way into panic mode. And they're like, oh, now they're going to blow a 3-1 lead, and this is going to happen. If you look at this series, and granted, I don't think the Knicks have played outside of the second half of Game 4 is the best they played, and then you take the fourth quarters in Games 1 and 2, they played really well, right? You're still waiting for that complete game. Game 4 is as close as you got to a complete game because they weathered the runs.
But I think contextually, Game 4 is
fine.
That's what you're looking for.
That's fine.
Against that team.
Because they weathered the runs and were mostly consistent.
Minute complete game against the
Celtics.
Celtics.
Look, they're up 3-2. They've been trailing for most of the series.
My point is you get now, okay, but take that.
Yeah.
Take that part, right? And if you're a Knicks fan and you're saying, hey, this team is, you look at what happened against Detroit. You look at how they've won these games here. For all you guys that were concerned about toughness, they've shown toughness.
No, they've shown that.
They've shown grit. So if you believe in the tough and grit, and you didn't see it tonight, and they're coming back home to Madison Square Garden, why would you not believe that they will show it again not in Game 6? That's my question I'm throwing back to the fans.
Just the 2-3 record at home and how it's looked. Yeah. The 2 wins, think about this. Game 1 against the Pistons, where they were trailing in the fourth quarter. They needed a 21-0 run to win that game.
Yep.
And then it's Game 4 against the Celtics. They were down 14 in the third quarter. Once again, they scored 37 in that third quarter.
Yeah.
So it's just they don't look their best at home.
That's what we keep talking about. It's like, how often are you going to need the heroics? That's ultimately what it comes down to. It's like, how often are you going to continue to put yourself into these holes that you have to? And by you, it's really Jalen Brunson a lot of the times. How many times is he going to have to dig his way out or dig the team out of those situations? Like, you can't put yourself in that situation.
Before it just wears on you.
Yeah, and against a Tatumless team at home in Game 6 in the Garden in what is now the biggest game for the Knicks in 25 years. Because I mean,
it is now. We said that about Game 3. We said about Game 4.
If they lose Game 6, it definitely will be in Game 7 the biggest. That's the thing. They got off to a decent start today, comparatively, right?
Yeah, they were leading.
After the first quarter.
They were tied at halftime.
It's actually their best start of the series.
They had their best first half of the series.
But like this is what it takes. Like, you have to be more consistent, because even without Jason Tatum, what a lot of people give Jason Tatum shit for is because the team is so good around him and they quote unquote don't need him. Now, I don't necessarily buy into that, but I buy into the first part being the team is really good around him, as you saw. Like, it wasn't just 3-point variance. It was they were generating these looks.
The Celtics are a good team.
Yes. Yeah. And the point of it is, like, they're capable of taking one in the Garden too. So that's where this gets a little dangerous.
Yes, you know why?
But this is where
Tommy, because you go.
This is where we go back to Cat. Your stars got to be stars.
Yeah.
Like Game 6 at home, chance to get to the conference finals. Jalen, we all agree is going to be special.
Coming
off of a game.
We're taking the over on Jalen Brunson.
He struggled. He fouled out. There's like a 0% chance he just doesn't come out and be awesome.
Let me find the line.
Cat, this is one of those games, man. Jaylen Brown tonight. This was your moment, and we're talking about a champion. We're talking about a Finals MVP.
He rose to the occasion.
This is your moment, Jaylen Brown. He showed up tonight. Damn near triple-double.
I agree with you.
So that's where you're starting. And
I think people are waiting for not the Cat. I'm not saying it was not a moment. You had Cat moments in Games 3 and Games 4 against Detroit, particularly Game 4 when he hit those shots to come back. But what people are waiting for is what you're talking about there, Ty. That kind of moment where he puts his stamp on the game. You know what? Y'all ain't holding me tonight.
Yeah.
I'm dropping 34. I'm grabbing 15. I'm knocking down 4 to 5 threes.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't got nothing for me. I've seen Cat do before. Let's not act like Cat didn't have games on the way to the Western Conference Finals last year.
He did. Finals last year.
But I think you know what would be nice? I think to your point, we know Jalen Brunson come up, but what if Friday night's a Cat game?
Yes.
You know how good people will feel if it's a Cat game? They're going to feel really good about that statement game. Now, Cat I like how he plays in the Garden. He likes playing in the Garden, all that good stuff. But I think a Cat game will go a long way. What do you got?
He's got Jalen Brunson's over-under.
No, he's got the opening line.
The line opened.
And the Celtics are favored.
Wait, can we guess it?
Yeah, okay. We'll play guess the lines. We'll rip that from somebody else.
Hey, wait. So you said no when you said the Celtics aren't favored? The Knicks are favored?
Yes. For now.
So that's a close line. 1.5.
Knicks 1.5.
So the Knicks opened at -3. It's now Knicks -1.5. That's one very popular book.
That means people have rushed and placed tons of bets on the Celtics.
On the Celtics.
Good. I like that.
Who is with Tatum great on the road in the playoffs. Great.
Listen.
Now without Tatum, we'll see. But
look,
this is they did win. I think that game that we referenced earlier against Orlando, I think that was a road game. That they won without Tatum.
3. That might have been game 3. Yeah.
Oh, so that was at home.
3.
That was at home. No, that was on the road.
That was on the road.
That was on the road. Yeah.
Look, man.
I think it was on the road.
Come out.
It was definitely on the road.
Come out. Take care of your business. It'll happen. Wow. Dev here says, can we just have one blowout? Is that too much to ask? I hear you, bro. I understand.
They haven't had any.
They haven't had any blowouts.
Yeah,
and here's the thing. I get it for the Knicks fan. They're like, look, I want to sit here and just enjoy the game on Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Kick back, do whatever you do to relax the game, and have them cruise into the conference finals. I want that for you. But you know what? I think it takes a lot of what Ty is talking about here. You're going to need them to deliver in a way where the stars clearly step up.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson is 28.5 points under. He is plus 750 to score 40. For that optimistic.
I might throw some money on that if I was you. I might do that. But you would like it if it doesn't come to that. I think that would be nice for
to be
the
fair, I
for
think
the
he can do it in a blowout also. I think he could have just he could have a 20-point first half. Now he just needs to get help because he can't do it all by himself.
I'd like to know how confident the Knicks fans are because he doesn't seem like there's a lot of confidence in the chat.
Hey, bet on them.
That
the line's moving toward the Celtics.
Yeah, that the Knicks are going to win this game. I think the Knicks are going to win Game 6. I'm going to come out and say this. I think the Knicks are going to win Game 6.
Did you feel they were going to win tonight?
I did, but I wasn't as confident. Yeah. I feel more confident about Friday than I do tonight.
Yeah, I felt like Boston would win tonight, and I've been leaning because of that. I was like, I think the Knicks finish this in 6. I felt like Boston had one. I felt like Boston had this in them for a game. Do they have it for another game? I think they do, but I think the Knicks will probably put a stamp.
I think Luke Cornett is going to look like the Dikembe Mutombo again on the road?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Luke Cornett thing, it's the, is OG going 1 for 12? Is Brunson going to foul out? Is Cat going to be that bad?
No.
Those are the things that if you're a Knicks fan, you're holding out hope for as far as winning this game and trying to do so convincingly. That would be nice. What's the margin of victory for the Knicks so far? I want to look that up.
One. I'm trying to think what else we got here. What else is margin? We got 1 in the first 2 games. They won by 7 in Game 4.
I have it here.
So yeah.
Okay, so the Pistons. Do you want everything combined, or
the 7-point win in Game 4 is their largest point of victory in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken?
No,
right?
They have 2 double-digit wins against the Pistons.
Oh, Game 1, I'm forgetting about. And what's the other double-digit win?
Game 3. Oh no, I mean one. My bad. Yeah. 1 double-digit win against
Game
the Pistons. It was Game 1 where the campaign and Jalen Brunson couldn't miss a shot in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the campaign game.
They just that's what it was.
Then he came out in Game 2.
Now they were losing for 3 quarters before that, but then they did what they've been doing against.
It'd be nice to have another campaign game. Again.
So
the I'm just saying. And my fellow Steelers fan, I want to see campaign do well.
Campaign was 1.5 points. Did he score?
He did not. He did not.
Campaign, come on, bro. 14. 17. So they won by a combined, the 4 games they won by 17 points against the Pistons.
I mean, listen.
So that's by an average of 4 games.
And then in this series,
Right.
They won by 3.
You have a 3-point win, a 1-point win, and an 8-point win.
Look, here's what I'll say, and we'll wrap in a second.
That's 12. So it's by 4. The average,
at the end of the
when
day,
they win games, they just win by 4.
Would you like a nice, comfortable win? Absolutely.
Because literally every team gets those.
Right.
Like, name the team that hasn't had that yet.
Maybe it's coming if they get to the next round. I don't know. But at the end of the day, if you're winning close and tough games, it matters for something.
Yeah.
You know how to get wins in those tight situations.
But if you're doing it in rounds 1 and 2,
versus
you could run into a problem later.
Good, depending on the matchup, because it always depends on how things
yeah.
match up. But what I will say is, I think the point you're trying to make is sometimes playing stressful minutes time and time again can catch up to you. So you need a little break every now and then.
3 Tibbs.
And we'll see.
And the Pacers, like the Pistons, you didn't trust them in crunch time because of their inexperience.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Celtics, you just don't trust their decision making. You know who's excellent in crunch time?
Pacers.
Indiana.
But you know who's excellent in crunch time too?
The Knicks.
Yeah, they are. That's why it's a phenomenal matchup once we get there.
There we go. That's what I'm saying. Not jumping the gun until they get there. We'll see if they get there. Well, before getting there, look, I'm sorry, my friend. You were 0-1 in the seat, and people are now going to look at you differently. They might call in the next time you're on the air and say, Todd Butler did not deliver on New York Got Game Live in a closeout situation. They might look at you and say,
"This was Mariano Rivera in that 2004 Red Sox series." Because I called myself Mariano the closer.
You did, and now you look like him in 2004 or maybe 2001 against the Diamondbacks, whatever you want to say for the Yankee fans out.
There was a blow save against the Mets, where I think he had a long streak leading up to that game.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, was that at
2000?
Was it Shea or
Oh, Shea. It was
yeah, it might have been at Shea Stadium.
Was that long ago?
Yeah.
I'm getting old.
Yeah, I remember that. Damn Yankees winning that series. I won't talk about that. That's just
they did. I don't remember that part.
That makes me feel bad.
I remember. I'm old enough to remember when the Mets had Eric Young Jr. on a promotional poster on Baseball Tonight for their game that night. That's the state.
Yeah, those are dark times. Dark times. We talk about dark times in the Knicks. We do not need to talk about the dark times.
That's like putting Chris Duhon on a poster for the Knicks.
Don't need to do that. But
shout out Al Harrington.
But hey,
yes,
just because you were 0-1 doesn't mean you can't come back.
Hope so.
I'm just letting you know. A lot of people. There's other people sat here and they're 0-1 now too. You know what I'm saying? Some people came through in the clutch. Not saying you're not clutch. I'm just stats and stats. You know what I'm saying?
Aaliyah, man. We tried to hold y'all down, and then me and Aaliyah.
You and Aaliyah tried to hold you down. Rest in peace, Aaliyah.
It's not his fault that they couldn't guard the 3-point line.
Let the people know who are watching. You know where they can find you, what you're doing.
Hit me up, Ty D Butler on Twitter, on Instagram, and I'm also hanging out in the Bleacher Report app. So I got a stream coming up tomorrow. Talk some NBA playoffs. I'm on the radio tomorrow as well with Bart Scott from 10 to 1.
Ooh.
So make sure y'all check me out tomorrow, me and Bart.
Tell Bart, Dexter says he hopes he's been pro Knicks all the whole time. I know that. Hope he's not too angry about the loss.
Pistons, yeah.
Hey, he's Pistons. Yeah. I didn't get to talk to him in the Pistons series. He he's being super Detroit out there. But tell Bart I said what's up. I hope he's back on the Knicks bandwagon like he's supposed to be. Tell Dexter said he's supposed to be like that. So we'll see if he's out there. All right, check him out tomorrow, 10 to 1. Bart Scott on the Bleacher Report app. I'm definitely see what you're talking about on there. You got to keep the Knicks fans calm and poised,
cool.
so they can be ready.
That's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All right, so Game 6, Bryan and ourselves will be back. We still do not know who our guest will be. Who's going to be sitting in the seat?
Yeah, we didn't necessarily prep for Game 6.
But we'll be ready. So we'll have more announcements on who's going to be joining us for Game 6.
It out.
I got an idea. Special thanks to everybody working behind the scenes.
Yes.
Juliana Turto, Tommy Hogan, Tommy Cohen, Wesley Spain, the crew doing a great job with us, making us look great live. We're going to sign off. We will be back here on Friday, hopefully with good vibes.
8 o'clock.
And then you got some stuff from Ty to give you some good vibes before that. He just told you where to check all that out. So I'm Dexter Henry for Bryan Fonseca, the great Ty Butler. Out. Catch y'all on Friday. Peace.